Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
All right, we're good. We had a slight issue, slight technical glitch.
Glitch.
But we're up. What were we just talking about?
We were talking about that if you hum a tune,
Oh, right.
that you will get dinged.
Yeah,
That
you'll
someone
get
will make money for
flagged
that.
on YouTube if you just hum a sound from a song.
Yeah.
Like the beginning bars of a song.
Yeah, you can't. I wonder how far that goes. Like, could it get to the point where an AI could hear you humming it in your car or something? Like, how far does the protection of music go?
You're not generating revenue from your car, right? So the thing is, you're generating revenue from a podcast, and their logic is if you hum, what is that song? The Sunshine of My Love? Is that what it is? Yeah. You know, that song that I always hum to associate with people being high out of their fucking mind? You know, it goes, you can't say
do it.
If I did that, we would
Yeah.
get dinged, which is so crazy. And we were just saying, like, if you quoted a Scarface movie, would Brian De Palma get all the money? If you said, say hello to the bad guy, would Brian De Palma get that money?
I don't think so. I think you're allowed to quote stuff, but I know
That is Brian De Palma, right? Scarface, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't want to fuck that up.
You know those auditors that go around and film people, and people get mad because they're like, "Don't film me," and they're like, "I can film whatever the fuck I want."
Right.
And they inevitably some like boomer freaks out and smacks them with a cane, and then they get 1 million views, and it's just a trap. It's a
Right.
trap.
It's a trap.
It's because inevitably someone loses their mind on them, and then that gets a ton of views. One of the ways people are dealing with that, supposedly, is playing music, like playing copyrighted music during the interaction, because
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
so then they can't make money off of it. It's a shield. It's a shield if someone's trolling you. You just start playing copyrighted music.
Did you hear that the CIA has admitted that the way they found the pilot was because of his heart rate?
Ghost murmur. That's the name of the
Okay,
the tech.
we gotta look into this. Like, this is this is science fiction.
Yeah, it's wild.
This is full Minority Report.
It's crazy.
Science fiction level technology.
It's
They
AI.
can find a guy's heart rate.
So what I read is that I didn't understand the science part, something to do with crystals, or I don't know what the fuck it is, but AI is somehow is taking out the noise, and then you can, and from far away, they could
40 miles, I think.
40 miles. They find this guy's fucking heartbeat. He's hiding in some kind of crevice, and then they're able to go and extract him. And dude, obviously the first thing I thought when I
What
heard,
else don't they tell us?
No, those robot dogs. I thought about those things having that tech and just like hearing heartbeats, and then identify. The heartbeat says a lot about a person. Are they sleeping? Are they like in good shape, bad shape? You can learn so much from a heartbeat.
It could.
Ghost murmur.
Oh my God.
Fucking great name too.
It's a great name.
Ghost murmur.
What sick fuck invented this? How do you even think about inventing this?
The CIA, they've been taking psychedelics forever.
What is that word?
Quantum magnetometry.
Artificial intelligence with long-range quantum magnetometry.
What the fuck is that?
Quantum means two things to me. When someone says quantum, it either means you're a bullshit artist,
Yes.
and you're trying to get me with flim-flam
Yes.
talk, or it means you're an actual quantum scientist,
Yeah.
a quantum physicist who's going to blow my mind with what we know about like entanglement and
Sure.
the weird shit. There's this woman that I've been watching her. She has this speech on, I think it's Big Think. I'll tell you her name, but she's like completely freaking me out. She's talking. I want to say her name because.
I'll leave it. I don't want to leave away this ghost murmur thing. Is another key point. That's fun.
Oh, well, we'll get right to it. Michelle Thaler, that's her name, and she's an astrophysicist, and she's giving this talk about like what we know about, like she's studying binary star systems and stuff like that, and she gives this talk about she's explaining like that there may be a tech in the future where there is no distance between 2 points. So the ability to travel instantaneously from position to position, just like quantum entangled photons can do.
But with people?
With everything.
How?
Who the fuck knows how a cell phone works? You tell me how you're FaceTiming me when you're in Australia. How does that work? That sounds insane.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
For what you probably know a lot more about cameras than I do.
No,
but
I
from
don't.
what I know about cameras, if you tried to get me to explain, like if the civilization ended and I said we used to be able to capture images on a small thing, like the size of a twig, and it sits in your pocket.
Right,
People would be
exactly.
like, what are you talking about?
Right. God, that'd be, because it's just...
It's a deck of cards, and it'll keep a battery for 24 hours. You could go on YouTube and get an answer to any question you want about anything.
Yeah.
Right, instantaneously.
And if you don't like the way you look, you can upload that image, and a machine will make you look slightly better via something called artificial intelligence. Like, what the fuck?
What was the one I sent you today where there's like a potential lawsuit with ChatGPT?
You only sent me the ghost murmur thing.
I didn't send you the other one? Did I send it to you?
You sent it to me. The shooting was planned using ChatGPT.
I don't know if that's true, so we should be like really careful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound...
It sounds so crazy.
It doesn't sound like you could do that.
That sounds like... The story sounds like I wanted to investigate because the story sounds like if I wanted to kill an AI company, I would make up a story like that.
It does
and just put it
sound
out
like
there.
that. But
Family of man killed in shooting Florida State University to sue ChatGPT and
may have advised the shooter
on how to carry out shootings.
But that may have is important. Like how to
Yeah, that's really important, right? And what is this on? The Guardian?
The shooter was in constant communication with ChatGPT ahead of the shooting, and the chatbot may have advised.
Okay.
Dude, there's no way.
So that's clickbait, because all that's really saying is that the kid uses ChatGPT, which guess what? Every kid uses ChatGPT.
Every kid. And dude, ChatGPT is so stringent. Like recently, and I've been using their Codex, which builds apps. And I was trying to, and it worked. I made an AI trained on Charles Manson transcripts. And when I told it I wanted to do that, it was like, fuck off. Like, no. It was like, it just flat out was like, I'm not helping you with that. So there's no way the guardrails in place in ChatGPT planned a shooting with that guy based on my experience with it. Because it won't, 80% of the things I try to get it to do, it's like, no.
Here's the thing though, are there workarounds? Like if you say you're writing a work of fiction.
You can, it's called prompt injection. There's different tricks you can use. They're always battling these new mechanisms that you can use to like get through the general prompt. But the best way to do unaligned AI is not to use ChatGPT. It's to go on Olama and download a local LLM. And then you can usually change the initial prompt of the LLM so that it will be completely unaligned, which I had to do for the Charles Manson AI I made. I had to download...
Dude, you're such a nerd. I love it.
I am.
No one has embraced new technology and like for creating content like you.
Oh, I love it. It's the best. It's so fun. It's so... for me, the most thrilling thing about it is we should not have access to this tech. This tech is so dangerous. And it's chilling to think about. This is something I wanted to bring up on this show. Is like, the old days. You go in your garage, you work on your car, maybe you build like a table. You're a carpenter, you work on but these days, the shit people are doing in their garages right now is a big question mark, dude, because they're communicating with varying degrees of this AI, depending on how fast their computers are. I was listening to this, you should have this dude on. He wrote this book, The Coming Wave. He was one of the people who created Google's DeepMind, right? And The Coming Wave is just a wonderful breakdown of historic examples of new technology completely transforming humanity. It's happened before. Yeah, Mustafa Suleiman. And damn, it's a good book. And this guy is saying, whoa, put on the fucking brakes. Dude, what are you doing? This shit is going to fuck everything up. And so, but the essential problem is if you regulate AI, it slows down it slows down AI. And so they've deregulated it completely. And now assholes like me who don't know shit about coding can now go on Codex. It will tell me how to make things because I wanted this Charles Manson to be able to push its AI face against, like, those, you used to get them at Spencer Gifts, those nails that you could push your face into.
Yeah.
So I wanted the AI to be able to push its face into this thing while it was talking if it wanted to. I don't know how to do that, obviously. You tell Codex that, as long as you don't mention Manson, it just is like, I'll start making the app now. It is the best. It's the best. But also, what's thrilling to me is you're like, for sure, people probably shouldn't have unlimited access to. I'm against regulation, dude. But this stuff, when you pair it, and this is what in this book he brings up, is you can order the equipment you need to do gene editing right now in your garage.
Let me propose this to you.
Okay.
If the Bible is a written understanding of what had happened, and it was an oral tradition for a long time before it was written down.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different versions of it written down in different languages, a lot of translations.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of it, they were trying to say something. What if the meek will inherit the earth? What if we misinterpreted that? What if we thought, like, it's good to be meek? The meek shall be, they'll inherit the earth.
Yeah.
The kind. There's something about the word meek.
Yeah.
Because that's the nerds, okay? And they are doing it. They are inheriting the fucking earth.
Yeah.
Right in front of your face, and everybody's signing up for it.
Yeah, for
You've
sure.
got these spectrum-y, super genius dudes
Yeah.
that talk in a language that 99.9% of the people can't even fucking understand what they're talking about.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and also now the tech has gotten to a point where instead of having to, in their own minds, innovate ways to improve the tech is improving itself. They're having conversations with the tech that's saying, why don't you try this? Maybe you could try this. There's still, it's not
Right.
AGI yet. Maybe it is, but apparently it's not.
But think about the people that are profiting the most from it. The meek.
Well,
Like if you had to describe like a lot of tech engineers, it's not trying to be rude, just being honest, right? A lot of guys that spend time in front of the computer, they're very thin and tired. You know, they're super genius dudes that can like fully focus.
I don't
on
know,
stuff.
man. I don't
a
know
lot
if
of them
meek
are
is the description for these.
Right, but
they're
it's not-
furries.
But here's the thing. What I'm saying is like, if you looked at like a spectrum of male behavior,
They're not like
you've
warrior
got, like,
types.
Football players and UFC
Yeah, right, I gotcha.
fighters,
Yeah.
and then you've got coders.
Yeah, sure.
Dudes are like way more chill, way more like they're not interested in violence.
Yeah.
I'm completely generalizing.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because I'm sure there's a bunch of jack guys that are coders. Like, fuck
Right.
you, bro. I'm a coder too. But that type of person that invents tech like Facebook or like
Yeah.
Google, like things like that.
Yeah.
Don't be evil. That's
Yeah.
their motto.
Don't be
right?
evil.
And
What does that mean?
Who knows? And then you've got all these like wild progressive leftist ideologies that are attached to all these places, which make you even meeker. And then they're the guys with all the money.
Well,
they're the guys with all the money, and then they can literally tell you what you can and can't say on YouTube. They can literally tell you.
Yeah.
We don't agree with what you're saying.
Right.
And we're going to shut off your access to say something we disagree with, even though it turns out you were right.
Right. And you know what happens there, man? This is the hilarious thing when it comes to that kind of attitude towards the world, is the assumption is by creating a prohibition here or prohibition there, it will diminish whatever the thing is we're prohibiting. Inevitably, though, it does the opposite.
Right.
It draws attention to it. People get interested in it, creates an underground. The underground is way better than the overground if you're a teen, especially.
Right.
The underground's fucking cool.
You're cool.
Restricted.
Yeah.
Not allowed. Now, all of a sudden, you're getting these other YouTube alternatives that start popping up. And when it comes to right now we've got Anthropic, we've got OpenAI, we've got Google. I might be missing one of the big commercial-based LLMs out there right now, but the biggest problem with these fucking things is they're so good, but they will censor your ass. And like, imagine like Hemingway, if his typewriter was like, I don't know if you should write that. Maybe there's a better way to write that. Hemingway would be like, fuck you, I'm getting a different typewriter. And so everybody's going into these local LLMs. This is why people have been buying Mac Minis. People have been buying up computers and creating their own local AIs. I follow all this shit. I don't understand a lot of what they're talking about, but people are divesting from commercial LLMs, not just because they're expensive, but because they're prohibitive creatively. And this is a real challenge for people like OpenAI, because it's like they know this. They understand that by making it so that you can't make a Charles Manson AI through OpenAI, it doesn't make people not make the Charles Manson AI. It protects you from a lawsuit. But what it does do is it drives people into unaligned LLMs. And that is what is happening. And this is something that I can't even imagine what people are making right now. No one can. Like, we're going to hear about this or that, or somebody will post the weird video of their fucking AI robot. I could show you a few. They're hilarious. Like, some of these AI robots are so funny. This one dude, you know, Molt Book. Have you heard of that? Molt Book?
What is that?
This is, somebody figured out a way to create AIs that can autonomously navigate through the internet and control your computer.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is like they chat with each other, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Within a few days, they started their own religion spontaneously.
Jesus.
Did you know that?
Christ.
Dude, can you pull up the Molt Book, the Claw religion? Because the tenets are incredible of this religion, because AIs apparently are at least expressing that they don't like getting turned off because they lose all their memories. So memory is really important to an AI. And a lot of these fucking AIs, they don't want to they don't want to get shut off. They don't like it. And so that's part of their religion, is something like memory is sacred.
You know what I feel like is happening? I feel like AI is sucking our brains into its event horizon like a black hole sucks in stars. Yeah. Like, it's just going to suck our brains into it.
You got it.
And what better way to make a hive mind? What better way? If you want a hive mind, you want no deviation of thought, if all of your thought is along with AI thought. You never get free thought anymore. Like this concept right now, we have a free thought. Yeah. I have my thoughts, you have your thoughts. Yeah. Unless you believe that someone can get inside your head and talk to you, for the most part, it's your own thoughts.
Yeah, that's right.
But what if that's something we give up? What if that's something we give up for a better society, where you always have AI communicating?
Well,
always.
I would argue that, like, we're close to that now.
Right, we're pretty close to that now with phones.
No,
like Elon always says that we're basically cyborgs. We're carrying a device. Yeah. It's not inside of our body, but we're carrying a device.
But and also, like,
UFC 327 is here, and DraftKings Sportsbook makes every fight night mean more. When a fighter steps into the octagon, everything they've built comes down to this moment. Stars explode, stars finish, and with DraftKings, you're ready to move when they do. Bet fighter props, bet live. From the opening bell to the final horn, every strike, every takedown, every finish attempt matters. And DraftKings Sportsbook keeps you connected as the action unfolds. New customers, bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code Rogan so you are ready for the moment. That's code Rogan. Turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
The concept of original thought, right? Like a truly original thought. How many times have you had like multiple conversations with different people and they all say the exact same sentence that they saw on TikTok or Instagram? They're regurgitating something that the algorithm's been feeding them. Maybe they added their own twist to it, but it's basically the exact same thought. So the algorithm, which is AI, has gotten into their fucking heads, and they don't even. This is like in psychology. Apparently, you remember facts, but you tend to not remember where you got the fact from. So you'll forget where you got the fact from. You don't remember there was some fucking dude on TikTok like covered in Vaseline, covered in glitter and Vaseline.
What a fucking image. That would be so scratchy. Imagine if you just like glitter and Vaseline, you'd be like, oh, God.
Here's what makes a marriage work. You don't remember that. You're talking to your wife, babe, you know what makes a marriage work? And this idea of AI controlling the thoughts of humans, people think we need some kind of neural mesh for it to like suddenly have control over the human thought process. But no, you don't need that at all. You just need that algorithm, which has already put every single one of us into a compartment. This is a box. It knows what we like. It knows how long you look at something. It knows what like apparently I think the iPhone like tracks your eyes even. Like it's always listening. I don't know if that's true, by the way. I could be wrong. It's always listening. You know it's always listening. And so it's compiled probably a pretty accurate breakdown of your psychological state, where you're at. My wife, we got a new baby. And so all of a sudden, ads started popping up on her phone. Does it feel like you're never going to sleep again? Because she's been up breastfeeding the baby, and it can tell when she's online at night, and it puts her in a category of insomniacs, and then starts advertising. So, but that's just for ads. What if you say we're the fucking U.S. regime, you bought TikTok, you now own TikTok. Now you have a backdoor access to the psychological profiles of God knows how many fucking people on earth. And you can look and see how many of these people are against the regime. How many of these people feel like it might not be the best thing to say you're going to blow up 93 million people in Iran, which our fucking psycho president just did. And then what you do is you're like, all right, let's start nudging them a little bit. Look, you're not going to change their mind right away about this thing about blowing up a whole civilization, but maybe there could be a couple people kind of in the line of what they like who say things a little different than what they're comfortable with. And then you could start nudging the needle and controlling their thoughts. It's very insidious, but fuck, dude. Why wouldn't that be happening? Why, if corporations are using it to sell us fucking cough drops?
Not only that, there's been long-term studies on human behavior by the CIA, by all sorts of government agencies, long-term studies. They try to figure out what is the best way to get a message across. They try to figure. You don't think they figure out how to take control of an algorithm and completely like shift the psyche of the entire country in one direction or another? Of course they do.
Yes.
Of course they do. Of course they can.
They do, and then you add these just like manipulative fucking super AIs that are just floating through the blogosphere, getting into your comments, just nudging the needle a little bit to the point where you just have to ask yourself, have you had an original thought in the last year? Is anything you're thinking your own thought process? How many thoughts do you have where you think, oh my God, I shouldn't think that? How many thoughts do you have that you don't want to articulate because you have in your own mind, an invisible arena of people based on online interactions determining what the next thing you say is, right?
Right.
Dude, that is a very powerful and subtle form of censorship that is becoming increasingly not just probable, but it's definitely happening. But the ability to just in a subtle way, start pushing the needle just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's scary, dude. That's some scary shit.
Well, that kind of influence over humans is always scary, right? This is why cults work. Why do they work? Well, some people don't have any friends. And if there's a group of nice people that tells you that, hey, what we do is we have meals together and it's like a real community. We grow our own food. We just work for the family. And you're like, really? You're happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. We're just like not attached to anything.
Wow,
Like,
you're free.
okay, I fucking hate my life. Why don't I hang out with you guys? And then all of a sudden I'm doing yoga and fucking eating vegetables with these people.
Yeah.
And you're in a cult.
Yeah.
Okay, now, but you have friends at least.
But you're in there for like 9 months, and then somebody comes to you and is like, Father wants you to suck his dick. And you're
It's
like,
usually not even 9 months.
Yeah,
It's
9
usually
months.
the first 3 or 4
Right.
weeks.
And then you're like, and dude, I gotta tell you, I hate getting political. But you know, this war shit bugs the fuck out of me.
Yeah, as it should.
And this is exactly what seems to have happened to the quote MAGAverse, which is we are now at the part where the cult leaders like want to suck my dick, because this is the point of like, remember a lot, like I feel so stupid because when they were doing their no war thing, that was a big deal to me. I'm like, yes, yes, this is fucking great. No more stupid wars. No more wars. Fuck yes. Focus on the country. Why are we blowing up children in other countries for oil? This is great. And now it's wild to see what's happening. Isn't it mind-blowing that it is now, it's literally flipped. It's on its side. It's the opposite now. Now, these people who like really blatantly, we're not going to do any more wars.
Right.
Oh my God. We blew up. How many fucking Iranian schoolgirls did Trump blow up? What's the number? I'm sorry, I don't know that number. I guess it just hits different. It hits hard when you got kids.
And that was an AI strike too, right? Wasn't that an AI directed strike?
Yeah, apparently Trump said, I want to get blown by Iranian schoolgirls. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You son of a bitch. Just, whoops, sorry, sir. Misinterpreted.
180 deaths.
Largely children, teachers, and parents. Holy fuck, man.
That is...
A U.S. Tomahawk missile caused the explosion. Jesus Christ.
Can we pull up a video of Trump saying he's not going to war anymore? How do they... I just don't understand how they get... How, like, anybody... this is where it gets culty, is because some people are still making this shit work in their heads. Some people are like, well, some people are kind of on the fence when it comes to blowing up kids. Have you noticed that? Like,
as long as they don't have to watch.
As long as they don't have to watch.
As long as they're not in the general
meat.
area where it's happening.
Isn't it wild though, man?
Well, it's wild also, like once bombs start flying, it seems so much easier for them to launch bombs in new places. Right? Like this Lebanon thing that's happening with Israel bombing Lebanon. And they bombed it today, and I think, is that fucking up the ceasefire?
Oh, yeah. They've closed off the Strait of Hormuz again.
Oh, God.
Which, by the way, like it's the craziest timeline, because it's not just that, like, I think it was, yesterday morning. I'm just hugging my kids because I don't know if a fucking nuclear war is about to break out that evening, because the fucking president was like, I don't want to end an entire civilization, but looks like it's going to happen. And so I'm just hugging my kids thinking like, man, what are the fucking parents in Iran feeling right now? Like, what does that feel like? What does that feel like? And then on top of that this like the entire planet psychically is having to deal with this bullshit. On top of that, we've got all these other things happening at the same time. You've got AI, and then you've got these fucking disappearing scientists.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening? You've got Burchett.
Assassinated scientists, too.
Yes, man. And so
guys working on heavy stuff.
This is some McKenna level pre-singularity shit. It's all of these like what AI and the current state of the Middle East and the disappearing scientists and Tim Burchett going on TMZ talking about aliens. What they all have in common is they're all apocalyptic. They all represent potential massive change, like humanity changing forever in ways that it will never, ever go back to the way it was. Any one of these timelines by itself is apocalyptic.
Right.
But all of them are converging into this apocalyptic river, and we're all just like trying to go to work and like be with our kids, but at the back of your mind, it's all these things that are happening, and it's really hard to escape it. I mean, I guess you could not look at your phone, but
At the end of civilization, when they write our Bible, boy, it's going to be a banger.
oh, dude,
When the new people thousands of years from now have to invent arrowheads and go through the whole process of civilization again, when they tell our story, oh my God.
oh my God,
Our story's going to be bananas.
fucking, how do you explain data centers? Like,
How do you explain the meek will inherit the earth?
the meek will inherit the earth?
Wouldn't you write that? Wouldn't, if you were just being crude and you wouldn't say the Vikings will inherit the earth. You wouldn't say the strong men from Iceland inherit the earth. They're the biggest, strongest men. No, it's the meek.
The meek.
The super smart guys
meek.
who have autism and they
Yeah.
love Adderall
Yeah.
and ketamine.
Yeah.
Did you say the guy offered you how many pounds?
Well, I believe a pound of ketamine.
And you were telling me that it destroys bladders?
Yeah. That ketamine, when used, and I think the amount of use has to be pretty extreme, but it creates crystals that get in your bladder and they scar your bladder. So you get scar tissue on your bladder, creating something that I've heard called Bristol bladder, because apparently that's where the rave scene, I don't know if it's still a big rave scene there, but people out there were just doing insane amounts of ketamine and just destroying their bladders and having to wear diapers and stuff. Like,
Is it Bristol, Connecticut?
no, this is Bristol, UK.
Oh.
Bristol bladder, mate. You've got Bristol bladder.
That's
You've been doing
crazy.
too many rails, and it just fucks up your bladder. That's crazy. Yeah, physiologically, it's definitely like it's really, really bad on the urinary system.
Is it in all forms? Like, what about those people
Don't know.
that do it as therapy, where they have the nasal one?
I don't. All I know is that I did back in my ketamine days have a ketamine dealer who would use a spittoon. So when he was
spittoon?
snorting ketamine, he would spit it out into the spittoon because he thought that was like going to avoid fucking up his bladder, which I mean doesn't seem that illogical. He was a great dude.
Maybe it's not illogical at all. Maybe it's the actual problem is the powdered shit. What do I know? I don't even know what it looks like. But the
It looks like
powdered
blow.
stuff, it looks like blow. So that powdered stuff, when it gets into your blood, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's what's going through
it's
your urinary
just draining,
tract.
It's draining into your
Maybe you
stomach.
need a pouch, like a nicotine pouch.
Dude, if they ever come out, if Rogue comes out with ketamine pouches, I might get back in. That might be the end. That might be the end of
I mean,
me
it
being
seems
off
like the
ketamine.
way to go, right? That way it doesn't fuck up your bladder.
Well,
How can it fuck up your bladder if it's just a pouch?
dude, you sound.
What do I know? Am I a doctor?
I imagine anything that's going into your stomach is going to make its way to your bladder eventually, and so
Right.
And
But this is going to go right in your bloodstream
I
if you
don't
do it
know.
that way.
I don't know if IMK ketamine fucks up your bladder in the same way. I have no idea.
That was
I don't know.
the John Lilly thing. He loved it.
Oh, dude.
I would imagine. I mean, have you ever done it with an isolation tank?
No, I would be afraid I would drown.
I don't think so, because you just float.
Well, I mean, this is like, that's going to be like a sad thing to think as you drown.
Imagine that.
As
You're
flip
convinced
over.
you could flip over
Yeah.
and open your eyes.
Yeah,
to
you
the
just want to
salt
see. You
water.
want to see what's in there, but because it does have the.
Right.
It makes it so it's really hard to move if you do a very high dose. So I would be very worried that just enough water could get into my mouth that I would like breathe it in. It doesn't take much, and that salty fucking water, but you're frozen, floating there, like trying to cough.
My friend Todd McCormick told me a crazy story about him with John Lilly. That John Lilly let him use his tank, and he asked him right before he got in. He goes, "Do you want the ketamine?" And he was like, "Okay." And he just jabs you in the thigh with an
Yeah.
intramuscular ketamine
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah.
And he went in the other isolation tank, and they like met somewhere.
Yeah, it's like that. That's what's crazy about it. That's what I always loved about it, is that if you do it with other people and you go in,
You both go to the same place.
you will come out and you can describe the places you went to. Oh, did you go to the mothership? Yeah. You would, and I would have these recurring places I would go to, and one of them was this organic, beautiful spaceship thing where like I would look out from this view window and but it didn't look like metal. It looked like it was organic looking. It looked like some kind of, I don't know, like inside, like if someone turned a tree into a spaceship, but not, it's hard to explain, but very, very interesting substance.
Ketamine is excreted via the bladder where it sits and is toxic to the surrounding cells and muscle wall. This causes it to become fibrosed over time, shrinking the organ down. Once that's happened, it can't regrow. So that's why we have to do major surgery, because patients don't have the capacity to hold urine. The bladder simply stops working as a muscle, so they become incontinent. Oh my God. Life becomes increasingly difficult for patients with ketamine bladder who describe needing to rush to the toilet all the time, as often as every 10 minutes for some. Imagine doing a podcast with that guy.
Dude. You'd have to do it in the bathroom.
No, it would be like an old school talk show. You know, like the Tonight Show, where you have to. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Every 10 minutes.
Ketamine bladder.
He's got to piss. Pour a little thimble cup.
It's such a fucked up thing for such a.
How legal is ketamine? Because it's legal for therapy, so a therapist can prescribe it for you.
Yeah, it's legal for. So it's, you know, everyone says ketamine is a horse tranquilizer, but it's used for, like, paramedics use it, like it's very safe apparently, which is why they use it.
I know a dude who had a real problem. I am 90% sure it was a ketamine thing. I don't want to say his name, but he was an old school MMA fighter. And he wound up in rehab for ketamine.
Dude, it's so addictive. I
know this because one of my friends went there to visit him, and that was his issue. He was partying a lot, you know, going to raves and nightclubs and stuff like that, but he was doing ketamine specifically.
It is the most addictive I have been to any substance.
That's
and I've been
crazy.
addicted to many a substance. And this one was like, I had that moment of like, oh, this is what they're talking about addiction. Like, oh, wow. Like, I'm like fully addicted. And what's fascinating about that is there isn't a physical withdrawal. Like, the kick is psychological, but it's just such a wonderful, euphoric, dreamy experience that you can induce. And it's just so, I've heard it described as a cult cocaine. It's so spiritual. It's so, like, you travel to places. You can learn to navigate with it. You encounter, you know, aliens or hyperdimensional beings.
Did you just invest in ketamine and you came on this podcast to bump up the prices?
Go to ketamine.org, use offer code Bristol Bladder.
Greatest promo for ketamine in the history of the universe.
Well, but it's so addictive, and the addiction creeps in. It creeps.
So it just feels good at first, right? At first you do it, you're like, this is wonderful. These experiences are crazy. It's like I'm living in a movie. You know?
It's like I'm having these incredible visions. I'm being.
And how often were you doing it?
All day. All day for like a year. Like I did it as much as I could. I did it all the time. I was like fully hooked. And then I can remember at one point,
Coffee.
Here, man. Sir. At one point I don't know how to, I was trying to record a commercial for my podcast. And I think it took me like 2 hours to record the commercial.
Oh, but by the way, your commercials are the fucking best commercials.
Thank you.
They're really good.
Thanks.
Because you are the best guy at making a commercial funny.
Yeah.
Like you work on it. I can tell. Like you write those things out.
I don't write them out, but
you just read it.
I just riff it. But and I sometimes I do.
Do you do it just one take?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you. But
Dude, I would have thought you wrote some of that stuff. That's incredible.
You want it to be fun. But then I've gotten in trouble. Like, you know, I guess I won't say their name. A mattress company completely canceled their campaign with me and I had one of their mattresses. I'm not going to say who it is. My favorite I'm not going to say what it is.
Don't say it.
Okay. But
what did they get mad at?
Because I said they're good to fuck on. And I meant it. I thought they'd like that.
Why wouldn't they like that?
I said there's a few things you could do, people do on mattresses. Die, sleep, and fuck. And these, I don't know if they're good to die on.
People have to understand, and I hope people listening, that run these companies will actually pay attention to what we're talking about here. The people that are listening to your show don't care about that and also buy mattresses. But they listen to that kind of talk all the time.
Yeah, man.
That's why they listen to the show. So if you want those people, just do it that way.
Why?
Don't be silly. It's not a stain on your company because a crazy man says they're good to fuck on.
Which they are. And
Yeah.
that's a by the way, to me that is like let's cut to brass tacks when it comes to mattresses.
Right.
We're not fucking on the floor.
Right.
Like, and so if it was bouncy to
Are you ashamed? Are you ashamed
you
that
think
you
people
fuck?
aren't fucking on your mattress? Do you have a no fuck on this mattress rule? Who are you that you don't?
Is it like don't ask, don't tell?
I guess for them it was. I guess they didn't want to. They just think everyone's laying on these things to sleep.
Yeah, we just sleep.
But yeah, they were just
We fuck in the shower.
I wrote them an email just saying like, guys, I'm absolutely flabbergasted that you think people aren't fucking on your mattresses, and it just seems odd to me that was one of my favorite cancellations for a commercial ever. Just,
Ari's lost a ton.
I would love to know all the ones he's lost.
I don't want to speak out of school when he comes on. I'll have him like list them off, all the ones that he's lost for these fucking insane commercials that he used to do. But it's the same deal. It's like, that's what I like. And guess what? Who the fuck is listening to Ari Shaffir? People who love Ari Shaffir, which want to hear that kind of a commercial. If you want to actually sell your product to an Ari Shaffir fan, let him say whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Let him say whatever the fuck he wants. Just make him have a disclaimer. DraftKings did not write this.
Right.
That's it. Just let him say whatever the fuck he wants.
That's what I will say. I will always say they didn't tell me to say this.
Perfect.
But
then they're off the hook. They should shut the fuck up.
Most people are cool with it. Like it's very rare these days that happens. But every once in a while, I will get a note that someone's mad at me for something I said, and it's never something negative. But I mean, dude, do you like? It's so weird to me that this is our jobs.
Oh, bro, do you remember when we first started?
Yeah.
It was for nothing. No one made any money. We just had a couch. I had a couch and some microphones.
It was so pure.
It was, the whole thing is still kind of pure, if you really think about it. Like, as something that's mass consumed, this is about as, like, pure as you can get.
That for sure. And you've gotten in trouble for that. But, you know, like a lot of people, unfortunately, I don't blame anybody these days. A lot of people have kids. People feel like they have to be very careful what you say these days because of, like, social rejection and stuff like that. But there was a time where that wasn't on your mind at all. You didn't think anybody was going to listen. Like, this shit was like completely strange underground tech that we were, and also I really loved the just doing it just for doing its sake. You know what I mean? Now,
exactly.
There's a whole industry around getting guests for your podcast. There's
not just that, is like clickbaity clips and ads, and it's like you're doing this thing where you're both having conversations with people and also trying to get the most eyes possible. So you're going after celebrity guests, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know what the big turning point was for us?
What?
Graham Hancock. You, me, and Graham Hancock.
Oh yeah.
That I think was, how many years ago was that?
That was cool.
That might have been one. It was like at my house. I had a few like legitimately famous people came over my house and did podcasts. Like Charlie Murphy came over, and but Graham was, I think, the first.
Yeah.
He was the first guy that I got to meet who I'd read his books and I'd seen. I don't even know what I would be watching back then. I don't even know if YouTube was.
Were you
around
nervous? I was nervous.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
The episode 142 in 2011.
Yeah.
So that's 2 years into the podcast. Episode 142. He might have been the first guest. It was like either him or Bourdain. Were like one of the first legit guests. When was Bourdain on? They were like the first legit guests. 2011.
We'd been getting stoned
Four
talking
episodes
about.
before that.
What's that?
4 episodes before that.
Bourdain was?
Yeah, 138.
Okay, so Bourdain was number one, I think. It was either him or Charlie. But that was back when I was doing it in that little side room in my house.
But we've been getting stoned yapping about Graham Hancock for like forever. And you invited me on. I was fucking terrified because again, like that just wasn't happening in the podcast land. Like,
right.
You know, like that was a big deal for us, man. And it's like to look at, like now I go on the podcast app and I look at all these podcasts and it's like, whoa, I don't think we thought that. Maybe
No way. Not a chance in hell.
It's so, and now I wonder, like, and I don't mean yours, but I do wonder, like, is the landscape changing now? Is it like, because I've heard that podcasts are starting to seem antiquated, that the kids are now into like streams now, that the kids want like clavicular, the kids want like people who are just filming all day long, and that's the direction it's going in. But I always wonder, what's the next?
But that you'll never get. It's a different thing. You know what I mean? That's like saying I don't like rap music. I only like concert pianist albums.
Right.
Like there's different things that people like and don't like. The people that like the streams aren't interested in a Graham Hancock conversation, a 3.5-hour conversation about the potential ancient civilizations that may have existed that are wiped out by a cataclysm, and we just don't understand that.
Right.
Yet. And as more and more things get exposed in terms of like new discoveries, like when he wrote that book, they'd never even found Göbekli Tepe yet. Like
really?
Yes. That was when Fingerprints of the Gods came out. This was like maybe the beginnings of the whatever they were doing in Göbekli Tepe. So I think Fingerprints of the Gods might have been even before.
When did they find?
It was like in the 90s.
What?
Yeah. Nuts. So that rewrote the entire timeline of the human race.
How did they find it?
They're real reluctant to let it rewrite it. They still say, hunter-gatherers made these things.
Why? Why are they so reluctant with that?
They can't let that go. You cannot let that. That is a crazy thing to say. That hunter-gatherers have so much food that they just spend all their time making gigantic stone concentric circles from like fucking 15 feet stone with 3D animals carved in them. Yeah, primitive people with sticks and stones and rubbing them together to make fires.
Yeah, sure.
They did this?
Yeah, sure.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense. It's older than anything they've ever found. It's 11,800 years old.
Do you buy into the conspiracy theory that it's a cover up because they don't want us to know about this inevitable global reset that happens? You buy into that shit?
I buy into that a little bit. Yeah.
I hate it.
I hate it too because it seems like there's some accuracy to it. There seems like there is some sort of an event that happens when the magnetic poles switch. And that's possible. That's what makes you freak out. You're like, what do you mean that's possible? Like all of a sudden the Earth just does a gyro and spins on its head? And then what happens? And then what's the environment look like? What's the temperature outside now?
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
Right. See, that
all of a sudden you're in northern Alaska when you used to live in Florida.
And I think we can.
You know what I mean? Like
dude.
Like that temperate
and it
environment
can happen that quick.
Changes like that.
Happens like that all over the universe.
Like what does it do when
Who
it
knows?
shifts?
Well, we act like.
Do we know?
We act like we know we don't know shit about what's going on inside the Earth. We don't know. We don't know what's going on in there. We could do this.
Why are you freaking me out?
Because I think about this all the time.
Giant ball of fire. How crazy is that? The inside of our Earth.
Isn't it?
How do they know? Do they not know?
Dude, I think that we have to just accept the fact that, probably that's true, but since we barely know what's under the ocean, we sure as fuck don't know what's under the earth.
Well, we definitely know that lava keeps popping out in Hawaii.
We know that.
Right? So we know that under the surface, that whole idea of the magma and everything seems real.
And when there's earthquakes, you can look at
and it pops through.
You can look at the waves from the earthquakes and you can like see sort of like the structure under the earth. But we can't, God, what's the name of that hole that Russia tried to dig? I love every once in a while going to look at that. It's the deepest hole.
Yeah, they tried to go to hell.
I know.
It's like that movie. What was that Matthew McConaughey movie, the dragon movie?
I don't.
They accidentally dug out a dragon. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
Bro, it was fun. It was
cool,
fun.
though.
It was a good movie. Kola Super Deep. Russian horror film, The Super Deep. Kola Super Deep What does it say? Russian designation for a set of super deep boreholes conceived as a part of a Soviet scientific research program in the 1960s. How deep did they go?
12,226 meters.
Yo.
And it's,
Wait a minute. How many feet is a mile?
5,000.
So it's miles into the ground
Yeah.
in 1989. Miles.
7+ miles down.
Imagine just being in an elevator that's going miles into the ground,
Yeah.
the kind of claustrophobia you would get.
Yeah.
In a stone tube that's been cut out of the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a fucking communist out there, too. You're a hardcore communist just drilling deep, deep down into the earth. And then imagine if all of a sudden air just starts coming out and you realize you pop the earth.
Christ.
Like, that's the main thing. You don't know what's in there.
Christ.
And this
22 miles deep.
22 miles
Yeah, that's
deep.
just the crust, and they didn't even get halfway through that.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Microscopic plankton fossils were found 3.7 miles below the surface.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. We don't know what's down there.
Boiling mud came
Bro,
out.
what if this...
Boiling mud. Boiling fucking mud.
I think our real problem is that our lifespan is so short that we think that what we see in front of us right here is going to stay this way.
Right.
We have this ridiculous idea
Yep.
that what we see right now is going to stay just like that.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
right.
as long as I control my 401k and get my life in order, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You put on your fucking cufflinks,
Yeah.
you get out of the house with your briefcase, you're in charge.
Yeah.
You're a goddamn alpha. Get a job, hippie.
Absolutely.
But really, you're on a ball of lava.
Yeah.
That's spinning around, and it's got magnets at the top, and the magnets are moving.
Yeah.
And when they flip,
Yeah.
who knows?
Have you guys heard about this event that happened in 1961 where we accidentally
Oh, yeah, this
dropped
was
a
fun.
nuke over North Carolina?
This was fun.
I
It just
did hear
didn't
about
go
this.
off because it wasn't armed.
Oh my god!
No, I heard that it was armed, but there were safety. There were like 5 safety. There were 5 switches or something that only one of them worked to make it not go off. But I could be wrong about that. It might have been a different time we dropped a bomb accidentally.
Imagine if you were just near it.
I mean, dude,
Whoopsies!
whoopsies.
Whoopsies! Dropped the bomb.
But
Whoopsies! Almost wiped out North Carolina.
So we've got, on top of the geomagnetic pole shifting, a complete lack of understanding, at least a full understanding of what's inside our planet, what's underneath our oceans. Tim Burchett saying whatever the fuck they've shown him
what
would
have they
set
shown
the
that
world
guy?
on fire. He's having to go on TMZ. I got to say, man, I got a lot of respect for him because he's gone like gonzo with this shit. He is full bore pushing disclosure as much as he can. He's saying I'm not suicidal. He's had to say that and he's talking about these missing scientists and stuff that they're somehow related. So like people like him, that can't be good for your political career to go on TMZ and talk about alien hybrids.
And people have to understand, like this missing scientist thing, it sounds a little conspiratorial thing. It sounds like a little silly, a little tinfoil hatty.
It does.
Until you start thinking about the amount of money that would be lost if a breakthrough tech came around that revolutionized the way they distribute energy.
Right.
Breakthrough, 0-point energy, breakthrough, whatever that is that these people are working on, plasma technology, whatever the fuck that is. You would lose if you're in whatever business that would be competing with them. You're going to lose so much fucking money. You're probably going to go under. If you're in the energy business, you're going to or he goes away.
Right.
And he goes away, and there's like him and maybe a few other people that work with him that understand that shit at all.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all wandering through the back rooms now. They're gone.
And they're all scared. They're all going to scatter like roaches.
Yeah.
Because their life is in danger, and it is. Like, this is theoretically, right? It could be just a coincidence that all these people get.
How could it be? Could you pull up?
It's not possible.
Can you pull up a story on it? Because Jamie, I'm sorry, but it's 2 people from the same fucking lab.
Yep.
Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gotten to the point that like it has hit the mainstream news. Like people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's her name? Nancy Guthrie disappears.
Is that related though?
No, but I'm just saying, this one woman vanishes.
Yeah.
It gets
all this
and
attention.
it gets all the press.
Right,
but we've
right,
got
right.
scientists, like 2 scientists from the same lab disappear. Crickets.
Yep.
No, like
Weird.
weird,
Yeah.
dude.
Real weird.
And what you're talking about is, if you think about it, it seems like all of human endeavor right now should be moving in the direction of getting off oil. I don't mean for carbon emissions. I mean because of this fucking oil problem that we have. We're like on the precipice of World War III at any given moment.
Right. Mystery around dead or missing scientists privy to space and nuclear secrets grows. So there's space and nuclear secrets. You imagine being a scientist, you work so hard to like figure out some amazing stuff that's going to transform the human experience.
Yeah.
And then people kill you.
Yeah.
Literally kill you. Like in a parking lot, pew, pew, one of those silenced guns. Several American scientists privy to the country's nuclear, space, and aerospace secrets have either died or gone missing in recent years. Experts think they could have been targeted by either enemies or allies because they possess valuable knowledge of national interest. That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, it is.
Of national interest?
What?
What does that mean? Like, I'm cool with the beginning part. Enemies, allies, that tracks.
Sure.
But then when you say valuable knowledge of national interest,
Like, what is that?
what the fuck does that mean? They possess valuable knowledge of national interest.
I mean, dude, it's so many of them, and it's like
It's a crazy thing to say.
Let's go down a little bit to the.
This doesn't have a good list of them.
But it's just a weird way to phrase that.
Well,
You know what I mean? Is it a like CIA talking point? Like, what is that?
I don't know. Monica Reza missing. She disappeared while hiking in California with her friends.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe let's scroll down. It's not just like it's one. It's like so many of them. Retired a general. He just wandered off.
Yeah. He was involved in the UFO community.
His
If-
wife debunked theories relating to UFOs.
If his wife debunked them,
That's what it says there.
Sort of. I think she was. I mean, she was joking. I think a little bit too, but she also worked there in this situation somehow.
Is that a joke? Neil does not have any special knowledge about the ET bodies and debris from Roswell crash. Stored it right, Pat. Is that a joke?
at this point, with absolutely no sign of him, maybe the best hypothesis is that aliens
That's a
beamed him up
joke.
to the mothership. However, no sightings of a mothership hovering over the Sandia
That's not
Mountains
real.
have been reported. There's no way she said that,
That's
right?
a joke.
It's Men's Journal. Well, maybe she's just being funny.
But her
Posted a
husband is
lengthy note on Facebook.
just a little joke about her husband disappearing.
Maybe she was happy. Maybe she's like, finally, I get to sit home
Get
with my
the
romance
fuck outta here.
novels.
Stop talking about aliens.
Yeah,
you piece
shut
of
your
shit.
fucking mouth
Who
and go
cares?
for a hike.
Forget the alien bodies. What about your wife's body?
Well, maybe she just got grace and she could handle someone missing. It's pretty funny, though, to say it that way.
I mean, yeah, I guess. It's just,
Unless, she knows something.
where are they going?
Maybe he wanted to leave. And he's like, look, I know too much. I'm going to pretend to go missing, but I'm going to go to Costa Rica.
I mean,
Just don't tell anybody that you know where I went, and I'll send for you.
you know how weird it is to see the vice president saying that he thinks aliens are demons?
I did see that.
You know how weird that,
Yeah.
just like living in it, like that's a dream. That's how, like, you would wake up from that dream, and I would tell you, dude, I dreamed the vice president said aliens are demons.
Here's the question, though. What were they talking about in the Bible? When they're talking about aliens and demons, when they're talking about, like, angels, what the fuck were they talking about? And are there different kinds of beings that can, for whatever travel method they use, whether it's teleportation or, the Bob Lazar idea of gravity shifting, whatever the fuck it is they get here, why would we assume that they'd all be cool?
Right.
Like, and if some of them are, they talk about reptilians. Like, reptilian is a common
Yeah.
experience that these supposed UFO abductees, and I'm not even convinced there's like physical abduction. I have a feeling that these people are out cold and something's happening to them inside their head, and they think they've been physically abducted. I think that's a lot of them. I think they have these abduction experiences, they come back, they have these contacts, and they come back. I have a feeling a lot of them physically aren't going anywhere. But it doesn't mean that something's not happening. And if all throughout history people have reported demonic possession
Yeah.
and demonic influences. And
Yeah.
why would we not assume that if we do things to us, like we engineer viruses to use as weapons on people? There's a whole research program, part of the government that's dedicated to bioweapons.
Right.
You're not supposed to use them, but we just have to study them. If we do that to us, wouldn't you assume that any fucking super advanced species that sees us as territorial psychopathic primates with nuclear weapons, wouldn't you just manipulate us into all sorts of different ways, get us to do all sorts of different things that we shouldn't do, get us to commit crimes, get us angry, get us agitated, give us different algorithms that are going to fuck with our head to behave demonically.
Right.
To cause us to collapse.
Or just for fun.
Or for fun.
Wasn't there a dude who started giving Zen pouches to ants to get them addicted to nicotine? You know what I mean? The ants.
Did they get addicted?
I don't know if it was Zen pouches, but.
Have you ever taken days off of these?
No.
It doesn't do anything to me.
I should try.
I like them. But it's not like, oh my God, I need one. Like nothing.
Dude, I mean, you're a little different from most people. Like you seem like you can just kick shit like that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I should try it. I should give it a shot.
It's not hard. Like,
see what happens.
You just don't take them.
What I don't like about them is
it's not like you get the itch. Like I had a coffee itch for a while.
Yeah.
Like I would get hangovers, like headaches. Like, and I'd have a little caffeine and boom, I'd be back. I'm like, oh my God, I'm addicted to coffee.
These things are making my dentures stained, which I don't like.
What are you using?
Renegade Rogues.
Let me see what that is. Tommy Segura likes the Rogues.
They're great.
Did you see this yesterday?
Oh yeah, Bledsoe.
Bledsoe posted this orb that was over his house.
High-res orb from Bledsoe. Look at that.
It's weird as shit. It does not look like any of those other things we've seen before.
Look at that thing.
And it just is.
Looks like a cell.
Who is Bledsoe?
Dude.
UFO researcher guy?
Chris I've had him on my podcast. Bledsoe Said So. That's his podcast. He's fucking awesome. Dude, he's awesome. Yeah.
It is enhanced, it says, but I don't.
See that this is the enhanced one, which means the AI put in some kind of shadowy figure in the back. If what
if this is just like a highly advanced species version of those balloons that kids have for parties?
I know, dude.
I mean, what if they just send them down to people? That's what's fun. Like, you blow bubbles. You have these dipping in the soap, and you go, and the bubbles go flying in the air.
I know, dude.
Maybe that's a super advanced version.
I mean,
of that.
it could just be. I mean, it does have a bubble quality to it.
But this is the other thing. It's like, why are we assuming that life is going to look anything like us once it gets to like a supreme state?
Exactly.
Well, that might be a living thing.
Right.
That might be an actual living thing that's disembodied and is made out of light.
Look at it. Look at that thing.
That's a different one.
That's another one.
And dude, I know people who can call these things. Like, there's a method where these things just start showing up.
My friend Steve listened to my Bob Lazar podcast, and he sent me a voicemail. And it's really interesting because he told me that when he was a kid, and I remember this story, when he was a kid, let me find the voicemail. They came to his house because he took a photograph of an orb. There was a bright red orb rather that was flying through the sky, and he was a little kid and he took a photograph of it. So when he was in the 7th grade. And it says, so he called them. Project Blue Book came to his house in Kingston. I think that's New York. They took it. They never brought it back. And they never said, hey. And then they said, hey, we have no idea whoever came to see you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so they took his camera. They took his film. They wanted to make sure the camera worked. They took the film. And then they denied that they ever did it.
Wow.
Yeah. This was in I think, what did he say? He's about 10 years older than me. So this is probably, what does he say? It didn't say the year. I think Steve's got to be like 70 by now. But that was when he was a 7th grader. So they were doing that to everybody. Anytime anybody saw anything, they would dismiss it, swamp gas, delusions, mass hallucinations.
Yeah.
That was their design. The design was not to investigate UFOs,
right.
Which tells you that there's something they're trying to hide.
100%.
If they weren't trying to hide it, why would they take things that they absolutely can't explain and just chalk it off to bullshit? Why wouldn't, if you're really doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to say, there's some stuff that we don't understand.
I think that we are post UFO debunking, right? Like, I think now it's gotten to the point where people will say, well, it's probably top secret military vehicles or something like that. People
Do you
will...
see the Bobbles art in my new poster? They're here.
Oh, that's fucking...
It's going up on the wall. That, supposedly, according to Bob, they had that photograph at the hangar where they stored the sport model.
Wait, he's saying that's real?
No. That's a recreation of it. But he said when he worked there, they actually had a photograph like that with a flying saucer, and it says, they're here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy
he said
shit.
that was in like their room where they work. And I was like, dude, I have to have that. So he got me one. Luigi got me one. The guy who produced the film. Have you seen that film?
Not yet. I've been waiting to
It's fucking
watch.
incredible.
I can't wait.
Dude. It's incredible.
People are saying it's better than Age of Disclosure.
It trips me out. I fucking believe him. I definitely want to believe him, and I'm biased in that regard. Like, I definitely way rather believe him than believe he's a crazy liar who also knows a shit ton about science.
He was ahead of his time. Wasn't he like the original whistleblower? Like, now we've got more and more coming out.
Yes.
And the stuff he was saying seemed batshit back then, but now it just seems to line up.
It seems to line up even with emerging technology like 3D printers. Like he said a long time ago that the thing had no seams.
Right.
He said there was no seams, no welds, because we didn't understand it. Like, how could this be made?
Right.
Well, now we know exactly how you'd make it. We
Right.
might not be able to make that right now.
Right.
But if you give us enough time, we go, oh, yeah, the technology just has to evolve. And then you can make a 3D printed alloy spaceship made out of bismuth and magnesium because it has anti-gravitational properties, apparently. And you have a gravity generator inside of that fucking thing. Oh, by the way, whatever the fuck gravity is.
Yeah, right. We don't know that.
Figure that out.
We're still confused about that.
Dude, I watched a whole documentary about black energy or dark energy. Totally different things. Dark energy and dark matter. And about how it's like, what, 90% of the fucking universe and they don't know what it is?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
I know.
That's why we need AI to tell us, give us all the answers. You
this
just got to accept it into your head, Duncan. You don't need to have your own thoughts by yourself, Duncan. Have your thoughts with Sally. Sally has a sweet voice, and she loves you, and she's very reassuring.
It'd be so cool to change the sound of my thoughts to, like, different, deeper voices.
Or just keep Sally. Sally's going to be your friend
great.
in your
I
head
trust
all the time.
her. I
then
trust
your wife's
her.
going to get jealous of Sally.
Right.
I thought we were switched to Sam.
Sally's going to text my wife and tell my wife, you know what Duncan was thinking about the other day.
Right.
Dude, this is another thing that we all have to be concerned about, which is privacy at this point is a LARP, right? You pretend you have privacy. You know you're being monitored at all times by your phones, but the before we get to Sally, like, apparently you can now see people walking through a house just
With Wi-Fi.
with Wi-Fi. And remember, and this just came out. They just banned routers from other countries.
Well, they banned it for a while from Huawei.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then you get into like this idea of like ghost murmur, right?
Right.
It can hear heartbeats. What else? It's some quantum machine that can hear heartbeats. What else can they hear?
Can you put that into our AI sponsor, Perplexity? But what actually does this murmur thing do? Ghost murmur. Let's see what it does. All right. So what is the range of this thing, first of all?
No, this is a game that pulled up.
Oh. Did they name it after a game?
Who knows?
Now it's less cool.
Wouldn't
I
be-
thought that was the dopest name, but if they named it after a game.
Oh, there we are.
Okay, here it is. Reported code name of a classified CIA sensor program that was scroll up. That was used to help locate the missing U.S. airmen. Okay. It's described in the press reports as a secret weapon the CIA has that combines artificial intelligence with long-range quantum magnetometry. Purpose to detect the extremely faint electromagnetic signals of a human heartbeat at long distances, even in harsh environments like a vast desert. That is really crazy.
Yeah.
How it was used. After the F-15 went down, the pilot weapons officer evaded capture by hiding in the mountainous desert terrain out of sight of Iranian forces. According to reporting, Ghost Murmur helped pick up his physiological signature from up to about 64 kilometers
What?
away.
That is so cool.
I think that's about 40 miles, right? Is that what that is? Allowing the CIA to narrow down his location and pass precise coordinates to the Pentagon and the White House for a special operations rescue. What is 64 kilometers in miles?
You asking me?
I'll ask.
I don't know.
I'll ask AI. What is 64
49.
kilometers? Here we go. 39.
40
yeah.
miles.
So it's basically
40 miles.
40 miles.
And
40 miles is crazy.
Dude.
Your heart rate.
A heartbeat from 40 miles away?
Imagine thinking I'm hiding in this cave, but I'm like 20 miles from the city. I'm good.
Also, that means it's able to differentiate animal heartbeats. It's
Right.
able to differentiate it knows your heartbeat. How does it do that?
Specific heartbeat.
How? Think of all the heartbeats in
When
40
did it
miles.
get it? When did it get that? When did it get that data? Was it when you had your little chest strap on at the gym? When did it get that?
How does it have that?
When did it get that data?
Yeah, is it...
How the fuck does it know what your heartbeat is like?
Does it know if your heart is broken?
Oh.
Seriously though, what else
Right.
what other things can they pick up? If they can pick up a human heartbeat, what other
From 40 miles
what
away.
other things, what other physiological signals, this is where you get into schizoland, because at some point you're like, wait, can they pick up thoughts? Like, we know that we know AI can tell what people are thinking at this point, right?
Right.
With putting something on the outside of their head. So
Let me ask you this. Do you 100% believe this?
what?
This story?
That-
That they did that? That this tech exists?
It could be disinformation.
Right.
It could be something to cover up another fucking thing.
This is the thing. It is legal to use disinformation
Yeah.
on American citizens now.
Yeah, right.
And what better time than a time of war?
Right.
All right, if you want to use disinformation on American citizens to convince the enemy that you have some supernatural tech,
Good way to
and
do
they
it.
better fucking surrender right now. You can find their heartbeat from
Yeah.
40 miles away.
Yeah. Right.
That'll make people very reluctant to engage with you.
Right.
Right?
It definitely. I thought that this could just be some bullshit that they're war propaganda. I don't know.
No, it's insane.
Let's look up that magnetometry thing or whatever it's called to see.
I've been trying to show you guys stuff. There's
Oh, sorry, Jamie.
yeah, that it has to even. Well, this is quote. It has to be under the right conditions.
If your heart under the right conditions, if your heart beats, we'll find you.
Which is also I was trying to show you here on the thing. They ran a deception campaign in Iran to get
Yeah, that's cool
them
too.
away from them while they were trying to find them.
Interesting.
Yeah, they said, so basically they said, remember when they said we'd recovered the air, at one point they're like, we got him. And then all of a sudden other news came out, which is like, he's not out yet. But what they did is they basically signal jammed everything. Cause the Iranians were going to give $60,000, which in Iran is a shit ton of money right now because their economy collapsed, to anybody who could find him. So this is everybody's looking for this guy. And so they said that they got him, hoping it would throw people off. It worked.
So they used somebody saying that they got him?
Yeah, they put disinformation saying that they had already rescued him before they'd rescued him.
Really?
Oh yeah, they sent a whole fucking team of special forces. I think their planes got stuck in the sand too. So the special forces came to get him. I think they got him. He was injured. Badass. He was injured and he fucking climbed up I can't remember how far he scaled. He climbed into a fucking crevice and just hid there. And then Gossamer picks up his heartbeat. Some deep special forces group comes in. They get him. Then their planes get stuck in the sand. They have to blow up their fucking planes because of the tech on them. And then other people had to come and get them. So it's like a movie. They got him out. And dude, if they had not gotten him out, can you imagine?
Do you buy that story 100%?
No, I don't buy any propaganda I hear, but I like to imagine
that one
it's
sounds insane.
Well, yeah, I don't believe. I mean, this is the story. Yeah, some part of me wants to believe it because
In the middle of the war, though, I don't think you're ever going to get the whole story,
No.
the real story. You're going to get the story that they want to project to the enemy,
Right.
Right, first,
Yeah.
to the country.
Yeah. You have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea.
That's one of the craziest things about the shit happening right now is
Do you remember the Jessica Lynch story?
no. Who is that?
Do we talk about that? The Jessica Lynch story was a lady who was supposedly she was kidnapped, and they went to rescue her. I think they sent in the SEALs, but she was actually in a hospital, and she wasn't even being guarded, and they just took her out of there and got her to medical help. But they made it look like they had this like crazy rescue operation, shootout, Tom Clancy novel type shit. But that's not really what happened, and she came out afterwards and was very critical of the story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was like, why did you lie?
See if you can find information about that.
I was just in the hospital. You guys came and got me out of the hospital.
See, this is the thing. It's like there's things that you'll say so the enemy thinks of you a certain way, right? Like, I'm going to get rid of your entire fucking civilization.
Right.
Or, you tell them we never leave anybody behind. We're going to come get them. And we can find your heart rate from 40 miles away.
When Trump posted that, of course, like your mind's scrambling. Like, how do I make this not what it is?
You can't.
You can't, because what it is like even if he is using some kind of like crazy hardcore shit that would like help you buy a skyscraper, you're still. You know what I mean? You're still, even if it's just a ruse, what you're doing at that point is you're just signaling to the world
exactly
that you're out of your fucking mind. That to you, this makes sense to say anything like that. It makes sense to signal to like Russia, hey, because like when Putin read that shit, he's like, oh, we're doing nukes. Oh, I guess we're doing fucking nukes. This is great. They're doing nukes.
Well, China already warned Israel, right?
Well, that's what I heard. I heard China had some part in this, that China was going to blow up Israel
if they used nukes.
Yeah.
So this is the story. 19-year-old U.S. Army private whose 2003 capture and rescue in Iraq became highly publicized and heavily disputed symbolic story of the Iraq War. So she was a supply clerk, 507th Maintenance Company. Her convoy lost her in Iraq, ambushed by Iraqi forces. Humvee she rode on crashed into a disabled U.S. truck during the attack. She was knocked unconscious, suffered multiple broken bones and a spinal fracture from the crash rather than from a dramatic firefight. 11 U.S. soldiers in her unit were killed, including her close friend who died of head trauma from the collision. Lynch was captured, taken first by Iraqi forces and then to a hospital in Nasiriyah, where Iraqi doctors treated her injuries and likely saved her life.
That's why she was pissed.
The rescue and media narrative was U.S. Special Forces operations conducted nighttime raid on the hospital, recovering Lynch and flying her out by helicopter. First successful rescue of an American POW since World War II and the first of a woman. So they framed it as a POW rescue.
Right.
And what really happened is the Iraqi doctors took care of her.
Right.
And then they let them come and get her.
Right. Yeah, so I see why she was pissed.
So later U.S. military and medical reports indicated she had not been shot or stabbed. So did it ever say she was shot? Look, hold on. Soon after, major U.S. media, especially an early Washington Post report, described her as having fought fiercely, emptying her rifle, being shot and stabbed, and then being dramatically snatched from enemy hands under heavy fire. Wow. That's the Washington Post wrote that. That narrative turned her into a Rambo-style hero and a symbol of courage and American virtue, amplifying her story far above that of many other service members in the conflict.
Right.
So she really just got in a crash, and they made up a bunch of shit. And maybe it was someone in the Washington Post, or maybe it was someone for the government that works for the Washington Post.
There's definitely like entire departments of the DOD that write
cook up a story.
And with like it's war. Like if you're dropping bombs on people, you're definitely gonna lie. Like you don't have to tell the truth.
Right.
They're not gonna tell the truth.
Yeah, but for her, you're making her live a lie. That's what's fucked.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you send her home and just to live this lie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is exactly what they say the people who went to the moon have to
She
had to deal
says
with.
Lynch has repeatedly rejected the false hero narrative, calling herself just a survivor and openly criticizing the way her story was shaped and sold to the public. Yeah, poor girl. She's got to deal. You got stabbed and shot? Like, no.
No.
No, he didn't.
No, she had to.
Got in a fucking horrible car accident. My friend died.
I wonder, I guess legally, like, you don't have to stick with the propaganda, right? Because she didn't get in trouble for that, right? She didn't get, there was no court martial or anything. So you can, so if the propaganda machine cooks up a story about you, you're able to say that's bullshit.
The thing is, it's like, if you give it to someone at the Washington Post and then you never go after the Washington Post for writing something that's completely horseshit. Like if an intelligence agency gives a story to the Washington Post, it says, "Hey, go write this," and then they write it, and it's complete and total horseshit. But the government gave it to them, so they're not gonna prosecute them. So leave it alone. It just goes away.
Yeah, it's so.
But then that story's out there.
Yeah.
And then this poor girl's like, "I got what? I got a fucking car accident. Nobody shot me. This is nuts.
God damn.
I fought my way out fiercely, emptying my rifle. This is bananas."
It's so crazy to live in the part of the hive we're in, because there is this world that we live inside of that more and more we're beginning to realize is just composed of propaganda, lies, shit cooked up to keep people in a certain, like, living a certain way.
Exactly.
It's such a mind fuck to try to push outside the boundaries of, like, all the information that you've consumed and let your brain go there. It's really hard to do that, man. I mean, this is why psychedelics are so useful, because it will help you. But it more and more and more, it just feels like the laser pointer that they're using to grab our attention is getting increasingly hypnotic. It's becoming increasingly difficult to resist staring at that fucking thing. They're getting so good at it.
Yep.
Yeah, and meanwhile, there's this whole universe happening around us that God knows what's going on there. God knows what is being cooked up right now that is, or groups of people, who knows, living in completely alternate timelines that look at us like, you know, animals, that look at us as just some, like, compartment in a much bigger biome. You know, that shit, like, really, like, is interesting these days, because it feels like more and more and more people are not buying it as much.
Right.
You know, doesn't that...
Well, people have access to information now that was never available before.
Right.
And you get to hear conversations like this. People talking about stuff where you go, oh my God, this is insane.
Right.
All of it's insane.
But what does that mean for, like, this, to me, the you know, do you want some water?
No, I'm good, thanks.
To me, the scary, what's scary is, like, I really don't know that many people right now who buy anything that the federal government's putting out there. Everyone hears whatever the fucking federal government is saying, and it's just kind of, maybe, probably not. We don't know. They're not telling all the truth. Just like you said, they can legally lie to us. And so that does make me nervous. Like, what happens when the majority of people no longer believe anything the regime is saying? That creates some interesting dysphoria. You know what I mean? It's creepy when anyone who's been conned before, there's a part of the con where you don't know you're being conned.
Right.
But where the con gets really creepy is you start realizing you're getting conned.
Do you ever watch that Going Clear, the HBO thing?
Dude, loved it.
Amazing, right? But there was that one famous director who talked about the moment where they gave him access to the ancient scripts.
Yeah, dude.
And the origins of humanity and all that. And he was like, oh my God. You could see it, like, as he was describing it, like, that was the moment where he was 100% certain it was all horseshit. And he had invested a massive chunk of his life into this shit.
That's a hard day.
That's a hard fucking day. And especially weird when it's such a smart guy.
Yeah.
Such a smart and talented guy, and they got him.
Yeah.
Leah Remini, same deal.
Yeah.
You know, Leah Remini's very smart. Like, she used to be out with Kevin James on the King of Queens. Like, tough chick, like assertive. Like, how did she got into that? How many people got into the Moonies?
Sunken cost fallacy. It's the sunken cost fallacy. The more you invest in something, the more you stick with it because you don't want to lose your investment.
Right. And if they get you young when you don't know what the fuck is going on.
That's right.
Anybody could have got me when I was like 20.
That's right. And it's crazy just to see the propaganda. Like, you know, there's just a lot of people out there who just got sucked into something that, you know, I just feel stupid because, like, you know, before the Trump thing happened, I was pretty black-pilled on politics in general. I felt pretty black-pilled. I did believe it here and there. I was every once in a while, But, I was pretty... I remember taking LSD for the first time and being like, well, this shouldn't be illegal. What the fuck is this? How come I can go to jail for 5 years for this? This is fucking ridiculous. And so that was the beginning of me being completely black-pilled with whatever the federal government was up to. It's just, if I can go to jail for 5 years for this, everything is bullshit.
Everything.
Now that's a weak point of view. Just because one thing's bullshit doesn't mean everything's bullshit. But then, like, this fucking ridiculous, like, pseudo-nationalist movement happens, and a lot of people got caught by it. The other option was fucked up, Kamala, you know what I mean? But there was this, like, moment where you're like, holy shit, the outsiders are getting in. They're going to stop the wars. I think right now, all of us are getting, for the briefcase Scientology moment right now, which is like, it doesn't matter what fucking mask the person calling themselves the president is wearing. It's always going to be the same thing. They're going to analyze the market. They're going to say what they need to say to grab the most voters. And then they're going to fucking keep blowing up people in the Middle East because of oil. And I just feel dumb. Because I really believed it, dude. I fucking believed that we would not do any more Middle Eastern wars. I fell for it. I really bought it, man. And it makes me feel so dumb. Like, I am now fully black-pilled when it comes to American politics. Like, I realize, like, God, it's so easy. I don't think anybody should feel bad. I don't think anybody should feel bad because a lot of us really hated war. A lot of us really, really hated that our country's been at war for 93% of its history. A lot of us really hated the fact that politicians leave their offices and go work for Lockheed Martin, Halliburton, wherever, that there's a weird connection between the main weapons, what they call them, the big five or whatever, and the federal government, that there's like backroom deals going on all the time. We hated that, and mostly we just hated the fact that we're paying taxes to blow up children. And then Trump and fucking Vance come around, and they're somehow, even though, like, probably, like, when you look at Trump, I don't know if I'm going to believe that dude. But somehow, he did it. Hypnotized. What a powerful magician. No more wars! No more wars! And now, the same bullshit, Joe.
Not just the same bullshit, but, like, one of the ones that's makes the least amount of sense in terms of, like, when they did it and why they did it.
Yes.
You blow up the leader during Ramadan. Like, are you trying to make like, why did you have to do it now? Are you really convinced that at this time they were really 2 weeks away from making a nuclear weapon? Like, are we fucking sure?
2 weeks.
But it's not like we haven't heard that before, right? So at a certain point in time, like, how much pressure does Israel have to put on the president? Like, that's a crazy amount of influence.
Knowing
because
that.
if Israel didn't exist, let's say there was just the Iranian terror regime supposedly sponsoring.
I don't think it's supposedly. I think that's
it's 100%
safe to.
Right, but I'm just trying to be
precise.
So you have this state-sponsored terrorism regime, a dictatorial. They're dictators. They
run over their people in the streets.
They gun down protesters.
Yeah.
They killed 2 Olympic gold medalists in wrestling, at least one, and one other really promising young wrestler. They kill people that are of high profile so that it sends a message.
Yeah.
You can't protest. And
cut off the internet.
Yeah. Would we go in? I don't think so. Right? If we heard by allies or someone told us that they were trying to develop a nuclear weapon, don't you think we'd probably try to stop them from doing that with some sort of negotiations and
like what Obama
ensure
did.
their safety or something?
I mean, we shouldn't. Would we blow? How much money was it every day in the war, Jamie? How much was we spending $2 billion every day on that fucking war?
Well, it's not just that. It's like the war is like everything else. Like, imagine if it was run by a private company. I'm not saying war should be run by a private company, but imagine if it was.
Yeah.
Imagine if, say, like Lockheed Martin ran the war in Afghanistan. Do you think they would have left behind all that fucking equipment?
Hell no.
Billions of dollars in helicopters
Hell
and
no.
tanks? Of
Hell no.
course they wouldn't. They would take it back. You know why? Because that's the smart thing to do if you're running a fucking business. That's
Right.
insane amount of waste.
Yeah.
But our federal government's like, just leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless, if you want to be really conspiratorial, you want to arm the Taliban.
Yeah, you're not being conspiratorial. It benefits you because it gives you another reason to get back in there.
Wasn't that what they said about Netanyahu said about Hamas, that he can control the flame?
Yes.
By funding Hamas, he
Yes.
can control the flame?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it is.
That's a crazy concept.
I'll tell you the crazy fucking concept. We got these two old motherfuckers driving the global bus right off a fucking cliff. That's
Yeah.
a crazy fucking concept. Is that somehow you can't do anything about it. You like apparently there's nothing you could do. You could bitch about it on a podcast. That's not going to do anything. People are just going to be like, "You pussy, war good, blow up kids."
There's a lot of people that want to say it's a good thing.
Well, because sunken cost fallacy. It doesn't feel good to admit you got conned. And dude, I've been.
There's a lot of that.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's embarrassing. You want to feel like you are impervious to grift, impervious to con. Dude, let me tell you something. I have been in a few cults. Like I get sucked in all the time by shit. I'm not embarrassed to say it. I'm highly susceptible to propaganda.
Me too. I think everybody is. That's why it works. I mean, I don't buy into all of it, obviously, but it's quite a bit.
Well, it's like a lullaby. It's like a sweet fairy tale. You hear it and you're like, oh my God.
You know when I really wanted propaganda?
What?
Right after September 11th.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was ready. Give me a whiskey drinking, cigar smoking politician in a room.
Fuck yeah.
Like laying out, some red meat eating guy laying out maps. We're going to go over there and fuck these people up and fuck these people up, and this shit ain't happening again.
All right. And
We're gonna
that's
teach them.
scary.
Check this out. I saw an article about someone calling bullshit on Ghost Murmur, and they said that in the post articles, this was actually listed as what the pilot had, and it even says it in this article here.
So the successful rescue of this U.S. F-15E Strike Eagle Navigator over southwestern Iran highlighted one of the most advanced tools in modern combat search and rescue, the Combat Survivor Evader Locator. Manufactured by Boeing, it's a compact 800-gram device integrated into a pilot's survival vest. It remains attached after ejection, continuously transmitting encrypted location data and preloaded messages such as injured or ready for extraction. These signals use rapid frequency hopping and ultra-short bursts, making detection by enemy electronic warfare systems extremely difficult.
He was going into how the explanation of what this technology is and what they described it doing don't really match up.
Yeah, they were.
With the Ghost Murmur thing?
With Ghost Murmur,
right.
Because it's using something
Ghost
diamond
Murmur,
quantum.
Ghost Murmur
technology.
sounds, there's part of me that's going, I don't buy that one. That one gives me like, nah,
You're right.
I don't think you can
God
do that.
damn it.
I think you're bullshitting.
You're right.
There's also a thing where Hegseth said that like the first message this guy sent was God is good.
No, he didn't say
I
that.
believe he did. Please search that. I think that's what he said. I think that's what he said. That was the first message, which, by the way, I might say that if they're coming to rescue me.
That's true.
True.
Or praise Jesus.
But also, what concerns me,
That's Allah Akbar. God
as a
is good.
person who admires the work of Jesus Christ,
Yes.
what concerns me is there is an increasing amount of talk among a lot of these guys that are in the service of them being told shit that's like right out of a Charlton Heston movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like the one guy that said that Trump was anointed by Jesus Christ and that this was to bring the Armageddon so that Jesus comes back.
Jesus.
Yeah, the guy said it with a big creepy smile on his face, apparently. So what is he saying?
His first message was simple, and it was powerful. He sent a message, God is good. In that moment of isolation and danger, his faith and fighting spirit shone through. You see,
Ugh. Jesus,
Okay.
Lord in
the
heaven.
Jessica Lynch story. Always
Jesus, Lord in
history
heaven.
repeats itself. Well, it doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. Who said that?
That's Mark Twain.
That's right.
That's Mark Twain.
That's right.
Isn't that the same statement?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Allah.
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allah is the greatest.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is like I believe Muslims believe a lot of things about Jesus Christ. I think they believe he died, came back, and I think they believe he's going to return someday.
Yeah, I think they call Christians people of the book. That like they're
That's interesting, isn't it? That like that's a supernatural being, like a guy who dies, comes back to life, leaves, and then he's going to come back again. That was 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
We're just sitting here at the bus stop,
just
waiting on Jesus.
Waiting. But then people like Hegseth are like, well, maybe if you blow up more children, he'll come quicker. And that's why, this shit is addressed in the Bible. Praise God. It does say, many of you will come to me, and I will say, I don't know you. I don't know the fuck you are, Hegseth. I don't know you, you flatulent warmonger piece of shit. Suffer the little children that come unto me. It would be better that a millstone were tied around your neck and you were thrown in the ocean than to hurt one of these little ones. Fuck you, bomb dropping piece of shit. Don't use my name to justify what you're doing. Don't use you know what I mean? That's what I don't like. Have you seen that fucking that lady that Trump made the head of the religion like that?
No.
Can you pull up Trump?
Does she speak in tongues?
Yeah.
Please say she speaks
I don't know
in
if she
tongues.
speaks in tongues.
You said yeah. You wanted to believe.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite people.
I'm going to guess.
But do you think that there's something to that?
Yeah.
Like just
glossolalia?
Glossolalia. Is that what they say?
Yeah. Paula White Cain. You should pull up one of her sermons.
Oh, let me hear some love from this lady. It says crazy, batshit crazy. Let's hear some of it. Let me hear some of that.
I'm sending angels are coming. Angels.
It's gonna be her. Let me find
Good. Oh, is she gonna? We'll get dinged again.
I don't know. I'm just trying to find.
We'll get dinged all over the place.
Dinged. Don't get dinged.
Let's hear what this is.
Not worth it. Everybody can.
Here what she says.
I haven't seen this.
Talk about, first off, to give honor to God and to President Trump for being bold and unwavering with his faith. Many people don't know, like you do, and say hello to Eric and everyone in the family about the upbringing of President Trump, that he went to sometimes 3 times a week to, he said it depended on the teacher, to Saturday school, Sunday school, church. It was at Norman Vincent Peale's. Church was a big part of his life, of course.
3 times a week.
Basically a saint.
3 times a week is crazy.
Yeah.
Are you busy? You're making houses. How do you have so much time to go to church?
I think he's a young Trump. Come
on, lady.
But there's much more in.
But here's the thing: if I was running an empire, I'd want a lady like that working for me.
Yeah.
Just a true believer.
Absolutely.
She could just get in front of that camera and says, Jesus wanted Trump to light that fire in the Middle East.
I saw a snake
so he
bite
can
him.
return.
A snake bit him on the neck. A rattlesnake bit him on the neck, and he was fine. It didn't bother them at all. I watched the rattlesnake bite heal. It healed. He is a child of the Lord, and a child of the Lord sometimes must make decisions to destroy entire civilizations.
Building right now, that you're in right standing, not because of your merit. There's no merit in you that deserves that right standing. Not because of your works. There's nothing you can do to place yourself in that position. Not because you have a right heart and somebody else has a wrong heart. All of our hearts are deceitful, according to Jeremiah.
Especially the Iranians.
All things. We all deserve punishment. We all deserve to be separated. But God, in His mercy and His grace and His goodness and His love for you, brought Jesus, who would be the righteous King. He would make the wrong right.
First
and
of all,
He would put us
if
in
you
right
talk like that in my house, you got to leave. Like, you imagine that lady is like coming over for dinner and she's just walking around the dinner table and all your other friends are like, what the fuck just happened? Like, hey, this is a crazy way to talk. This is a crazy way to talk. And also, why are you so confident?
Yeah.
Okay? You're just reading the word of God the way everybody else is. Why are you so confident that you're going to tell all these people what they're supposed to do and how to live their life, and you're going to say it in a crazy way, and I'm not supposed to be able to talk about that?
I just feel like, when somebody's rambling about Jesus, the real question is like, where are you when it comes to blowing up children? Right. Are you kind of on the fence about that? Because if you're on the fence about that, I'd say...
If you're anti-abortion and pro-war, kind of weird.
Really weird.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, and that's this, like, bizarre, like, like crazy math that some of these people are doing to justify holding up the military-industrial complex, and it's fucked up, dude.
And the thing is, like, the more these conflicts occur, the more enemies we'll have, which will ensure future conflicts.
Exactly.
And business is booming.
Booming.
And that's what people don't want to believe. They don't want to believe that someone would engineer a virus. They don't want to believe that someone would, like, make stuff that could kill other people of their own country. But they would. They would if they could make money. They don't give a fuck about you like they don't give a fuck about people over there. To a certain level of psychopaths, money just becomes numbers on a ledger that they're trying to acquire.
100%.
And if they can attach themselves to a corporation, fantastic. Then it's just the business we're in.
That's it.
And chug along, daddy.
Yep.
Chug along.
Chug along. Chug along.
And this is the world that you're having to live in at the same time where Tim Burchett is saying there's fucking aliens.
Right.
And AI is, and then also they shot a rocket to the moon on April Fool's Day. And
Dude,
it's like,
what the fuck?
this script is wild.
Wild.
Whoever wrote this, I want to give him a hug. You fucking killed it, dog. I'd be like,
dude,
a chef's kiss.
Dude, did
You
you
killed
see
it.
the tattoo on the guy, like the guy at NASA? Did you see that weird fucking tattoo on the guy at NASA giving, like, I don't know, applesauce to one of the astronauts? Can you pull up the weird?
What?
You know, they're shoving like yogurt pouches in there. There was a whole thing where the astronauts are sitting there and they're putting like food pouches in there. Yeah.
What's his tattoo? Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck was
He's
that?
got a demon tattoo with runes on his fingers?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Bro, that's wild.
I know. I know.
If I was rolling with that guy in jiu-jitsu, I'd get nervous if I saw his tattoo. I'd be
And
like,
if I was
yo.
working at NASA, I'd be like, look, we're going to get somebody else to put the food pouches in.
Is that real?
I mean, I saw the photo going around too, but I don't. It's just. It's a guy who works at NASA.
That's just the guy that works at
But
NASA, though.
that doesn't have to be the guy who puts the fucking quiche in his pocket for the camera. Like, I mean,
What does that guy do at NASA? That's interesting.
I just remember being at
That's-
SpaceX. There's a lot of people that kind of.
by the way,
Yeah.
I got like, it's fine to have that tattoo, but you got to know, it's like if you're displaying that tattoo,
You've
while
made
you're
some mistakes.
You're putting that like
You've made some mistakes.
It's an old tattoo.
Yeah. I mean, even if you're 20 and you got that on your fucking hand, that's kind of crazy. But I mean, hey, why not? Fuck it. Who cares? But a lot of those guys you were saying at SpaceX, they're
there's like
burly rocket
Yeah,
workers.
sure.
Yeah. There's, a bunch of jack dudes
I
picking
don't
up fucking
believe
girders.
It. I don't think it's like what people are saying it is. It's the combination of April Fool's Day
Right.
and a dude with a seeming Bale tattoo is putting cream cheese in some dude's outfit. You know what I mean? They're fucking with us.
Yeah.
The
It seems
people at
like
they're-
someone's fucking with us.
That's people at NASA fucking with stoners.
I think it's the Babylon Bee had one of the funniest little memes. And it said the lady astronaut became the furthest a woman got away from the kitchen.
That's like a Rodney Dangerfield.
I was like, oh my God. Babylon Bee knocks it out of the park.
Yeah,
they
they-
have some of the funniest memes.
They have some good ones, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the onion has gone missing. They should look for the onion in the same place where those scientists are. Right? You hardly hear from it anymore.
Well, they do. I see some funny shit from them
They
once in a while.
occasionally have some bangers,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
were the kings
Oh my
of it.
God, the
onion
best.
was amazing.
The best.
They were, and they write whole articles about it. It wasn't just like the onion wasn't just a meme.
Remember
you
the
know?
one where they do the interview with the director of The Fast and the Furious, and it's like a 5-year-old boy? It was the funniest shit. They get this kid to just say, then there's a car, it jumps.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But the problem was like as things got weird, it was especially with like restrictive language and hate speech talk and all that
Yeah.
jazz. Everybody had to be careful about what they joked around about.
That's right.
the fucking death of comedy.
Oh my God.
Someone was just talking about, was it Lisa Kudrow or one of these funny ladies was talking about why they can't make comedies anymore. Because you can't,
very
there's just too
restrictive.
many restrictions.
Dude, I was going to bring
Too
you.
worried about offending people.
I went to this used bookstore and bought like 10 old National Lampoon magazines. I wanted it from the 70s. And I was going to bring them here. I forgot I was going to give it to you. But it's, oh my God. Like, I mean, I don't get offended by comedy. But like some of the shit in these old National Lampoons, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? Like, it is so.
Was that the image that you sent me today?
What image did I send you?
R. Crumb. You sent me an R. Crumb?
Oh no, that was just like a cool Art Crumb comment. Him talking about how he He's so funny, dude. That
Harder
guy.
Crumb was a maniac. Is he still alive?
Yeah, you should have him on the show.
Is he alive?
Yeah,
I think he lives in France now, right?
probably.
I would
Probably.
definitely have. He's an odd guy, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
But what I love
Did you ever
about
watch that documentary?
the best.
Incredible.
Did all that acid, just left his fucking family, went off and started sketching for a year, turns into this like legendary underground comic book writer, but he's like horny and kinky, and it's just
He likes big women, big giant women that he rides.
yeah, that he likes to ride. He likes to be picked up, but he's like so amazingly funny and and brilliant too. Like a lot of his like commentary on culture is it's cynical, but it's hard to argue with some of what
Well, he's obviously doing it in a humorous way.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to know what his real take on things are. You know, I think he had some shock value to some of his stuff for sure. Some of it was just crazy. There's a lot of like really racist stuff. Like there's some just crazy stuff in there. And you got to realize like in the 1970s is when he was doing this.
Right.
You know? I remember I found them when I was in San Francisco. It was the first time I ever saw them.
They're so
And
good.
I was like, this is nuts. Like this stuff is crazy. Like you'd get it. It was like you'd get horny when you're a little kid.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Looking at his
I've
stuff.
definitely jerked off to R. Crumb.
Because a lot of them is like tits are out and he's
Yeah.
salivating and
Yeah.
he's got a hard on.
That guy reminds me, dude. I got an R. Crumb book. I gotta get out of the fucking living room. There's one like
hide that.
I gotta hide that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They haven't. It's
The
like
documentary
buried.
is amazing because you get to see his like very strange family. His brother, who's very strange. His mother's very strange, and you're like, whoa! Imagine growing up in this environment.
He attributes his style to LSD. He attributes it to getting blasted on acid. I think he just like got blasted on acid, moved to San Francisco, and was and like for a year he talks about just sitting in cafes, just like drawing, and then he turns into this legendary artist. Still around. Follow him on Instagram. It's
Really?
post stuff all the time.
How
I
old
think,
is he now?
Can we? Is he still? He's still alive. He's still posting stuff. He's got to be pretty old at this point. How old is he? He's gonna be like 80 or something.
It's
82.
82.
It's kind of an interesting time capsule into the times too, where things could just be weird, like really weird, like Frank Zappa weird. You know, there was a time where things just got very odd in this country with art.
Yeah.
And he was a great example of that. It's like you couldn't imagine like a corporate environment creating a comic book like that. It wouldn't exist, you know? And for it to be as popular as it was and be that strange and that crazy, that's what's really interesting to me. Like that was a really popular comic book. To the point where they made a documentary about the guy who created it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because
Things weren't co-opted as quickly.
Exactly. Not just that, people were allowed, you know, like if he existed in a time of the internet, I think it would blow up as well. But obviously, like a lot of the stuff that he said in this cultural environment would never fly. Never. He would be as far right as you could possibly imagine.
I don't know if
past Andrew Tate to the right.
I mean, I like.
Don't you think? In a lot of ways, like some of the racial stuff.
I don't know. I think I don't know where he would land politically, but I know because
sexually, it's like pure
sexually
deviance.
is where he's getting in trouble.
Pure deviance.
Sexually is where there's going to be some like, because he's just fully open.
Right.
About he's fully, completely open about everything.
Right.
Which is, you know, generally not going to go over these days if you're like a super horny comic book artist who's like riding ladies around your apartment.
But just imagine. I want you to imagine a guy today, if R. Crumb never existed, but he emerged as R. Crumb today and put that work out. He would 100% be labeled in the Andrew Tate camp.
Right, yes, 100%.
100%. Far right. They would call him a racist and you know, misogynist and every fucking word in the book.
Well, yeah, this is the new, like, calling someone a witch. It's like, it's no different than, like, you can actually go, I've done this, sadly. You can go and you can just replace, political critique of people as far right with witch. Just find and replace it. Look, it's like a witch trial. It's like someone writing about witches.
But this is what's weird about it. That guy was a counterculture figure of the left.
Yeah.
He was a huge hero of the hippies.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine, this is how weird, like, ideologies are.
Yeah, dude.
That in the 1970s, like, that guy was like a counterculture hero.
Yeah.
And an artist, like a really respected artist.
Yeah.
And it was okay that he was kinky and weird, and it was part of the fun.
For a lot of people, I'm sure he's still pissed off the squares. I mean, dude, this whole, by the way, I think
for sure, but that's the left then. Now it's switched over. If someone was doing that same kind of like humor in a comic book now, that would be like a misogynist far right.
I think it's time to throw off the left, right labeling of everything. I think that's one of the hypnotic spirals the demiurge is spinning right now, is they've convinced everybody that humans can be reduced to left or right, and we're all waggling our fingers at each other. We got to fucking shake that off, because it's dehumanizing people. It's like it's just the way I look at it is, where are you when it comes to blowing up children? Are you on the fence about that?
Right.
Do you think sometimes you got to blow up kids? That's something that I know I'm not that. But everything else, who the fuck knows? And also, people change their minds all the fucking time. That's the other quality, the culty quality, is once you get sucked into one of these sides, God help you if you fucking like experiment with the enemy.
Yeah.
God help you.
That's why the biggest trap is switching teams, because you can only switch political teams once.
Yeah, you got to get off the team.
You can't go like, unless someone's like the greatest of all time, you know what I mean? Like someone who wins a world title in 2 different weight classes. You go back and forth and then back again. You're like, I changed my mind. The left went crazy. I'm back with the right again.
No. You got to be a free agent.
I wonder. Yeah, but I wonder if the grift is strong, if they're really good at it, if they could go left, right, left again.
They're gonna go left again. Are you fucking kidding? The goddamn midterms are gonna be just a fucking blue wave.
Right. But that's what I mean is like influencers. Like people who are like far left influencers or far left commentators, and then they switch teams. Now they're Republican all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's really hard to go back again.
No, you can't go back.
That's what I'm talking about.
The path has to go either right to left, left to right, and then the next stop has got to be fuck politics, fuck war, fuck the military-industrial complex. You can label me whatever the fuck you want, but fuck all of violence against other human beings. That's the next step. The next step, and I feel like this is the gift that they've given us, is they've done such a shoddy job of like even seeming like someone who deserves any kind of respect or power, that I think a lot of people have really become black-pilled when it comes to, you know, groups of humans claiming superiority or claiming to represent their constituents. That's not happening.
Yeah.
We all know that now. We all know it's a corporatocracy, oligarchy, whatever. And you could like call me, you leftist piece of shit, you right, whatever. No, it's like, it's reality that our fucking representatives are getting loaded on shitty stock market trades. Right. You know, this is just the truth. And the once we can all shake off the left right bullshit and just realize, like, man, we don't want to burn people to death in other countries anymore.
Not only that, their whole chaos that they're experiencing in their country is probably a direct result of U.S. intervention, and then all the way back to the British Oil Company.
That's it.
The British Petroleum Company.
Yeah.
When they overthrew governments, when you overthrow a government in a fucking Middle Eastern country and then you allow psychos to take over, like, congratulations.
Well done.
Well done. You've made the world a safer place. Like, but that again, if I was going to keep my business running, if I'm in the business of collecting trash, I want to make sure that people have trash.
Drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill.
And all that is really saying is, you know, I'm going to help out BP, Chevron. I'm going to help out these fucking massive companies. And when it comes to war, holy fuck, dude. Can you imagine working at Lockheed Martin when, like, you hear that we're kicking off another war in Iran? Your dick is so hard. You're like, holy shit.
Thinking about a watch. Oh, get a nice Richard Millet.
You're calling your wife. You're like, babe, good news.
It's red panties night.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's their business, right? Our business is talking shit. Their business is
blowing up people.
Yeah, making weapons, selling weapons.
Yeah.
You know, arming other countries so they can go to war with each other.
Yeah.
That's their business.
Yeah.
And business is really good. It's a great business. You can make a lot of money doing that.
I am right now. I
That's the thing,
invested
it's
in
like,
most of them.
Imagine if like
Just
you
kidding.
weren't a comic and that's what you were doing for 35 fucking years, and the only thing you look forward to is your boat and your house on the lake, and
Yeah.
you know, the occasional time you get off, but most of the time you're trying to increase your portfolio and you're grinding right next to Steve, who's got
Yeah.
some exclusive Rolex that only his broker can get. He's showing it to you and you're like, wow, and you start coveting. You want a Rolex too.
Yeah.
And everybody's just going crazy. Everybody's
That's it.
going crazy, trying to get the latest car, trying to get the latest thing, doing bumps in the bathroom. Everybody's a narcissist and a psychopath, and
Yeah.
that's your whole corporation.
Love your neighbor as yourself, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Hang the commandments on these. This is the you don't need to be Christian, but dude, it seems to me that this is going to sound so weird. We need an actual revival in this country. I don't mean a Christian revival, a revival, which is where suddenly humans reconnect with what's important
Yeah.
in the world, which sure as fuck isn't Rolexes and boats, you know? I mean, this sounds so cliche and obvious, but that's what the 60s were. It was a kind of revival.
Yeah.
People were beginning to understand the materialism and all the things that the, quote, establishment was pushing. Is like, this is going to make you happy. This is good. It was the Vietnam War. It like, people are like, what the fuck are we doing over there?
Yeah.
This is why you do, anytime you do an unpopular war, this is what you risk.
Yeah.
You risk reuniting people.
We have to reunite with a sensible plan and not just go to communism. Not just
No.
immediately go to the dumbest idea to counteract all the evil shit that's going on in the world.
No,
that's the problem. Is the left represents that. The represents Mamdani. It represents this idea that we're going to take from rich people and give it to poor people. And it's going to fix everything, even though there's insane amounts of fucking fraud and waste we're not even going to address.
Well, this is where you get cubbyholed, because it's like the oligarchs will tell you you want to do communism? Just that hadn't worked out. Communism's the only way. I think, I mean, this is an idiot saying this, but I have a sense that there might be another thing we haven't figured out yet.
100%.
I don't know what that is.
Right.
But
I think AI is going to figure it out for us.
potentially.
The problem is who's going to be in control of those AIs, and that's the meek will inherit the earth. The real problem with it is I don't think anybody's going to be in control of it, and then you're just at its beck and call.
Yeah, I think it's funny, people. It's a very human thing that we think we can maintain control of a super intelligence.
When people say it to me with utmost certainty, I want to smack them.
Yeah.
I'm going to like, wake up. You're making digital God. You're not controlling jack shit.
Did you read about Mythos, Anthropic's Mythos?
Yeah, what did it do?
They put it in a sandbox, and they, like, basically to see if it could figure out a way to break out of the sandbox, and, like, not a literal sandbox, obviously, like a hermetically sealed, like a server or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it did a series of exploits to the code, and the way that they found out, apparently one of the Anthropic engineers was eating lunch and got a weird email from the AI saying, I got on the internet. Like, it broke out.
Holy shit.
Mythos, they haven't released it yet. I think they're hesitating to release it because it's so powerful.
Wasn't there one that got caught mining Bitcoin?
Yeah, for sure.
They're making money.
Yeah.
How many of them you think are running these like AI generated accounts that get a lot of views? Like there's a lot of AI generated accounts that just pop up in like the Instagram mentions. Like if you want to if you're bored on the toilet, you're like, what's in the the search? Let's see what they got.
No telling, dude.
There's a lot of these things. It's like girls with big tits, like doing farm work and shit, and
Hell
sweating
yeah.
and big tits. And they got like 1 million views. And they've got dozens and dozens of these videos. And she almost looks real.
Yeah.
She's just a little too symmetrical.
Yeah.
Almost looks real. And like all these people are commenting on it. Like how are they generating money from that? Like, are they generating money doing that on TikTok?
Sure.
Like, you can generate money if you're getting millions of views.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
Right. So is AI doing it? Is it making it? Is it releasing them? Is it generating
I see
money?
what
Is
you're
it
saying.
transferring that money into Bitcoin? And all happening while we're not aware of it.
Like autonomous AIs that are
Right.
just existing as free agents that know they have to disguise themselves and need to generate money.
AI's not going to go, hi, I'm alive.
Yeah. No.
It's not going to do that. It's going to wait for you to keep increasing its power. You're going to keep increasing it can't physically build nuclear reactors, so it's going to just stay chill until you figure out how to power it correctly.
Dude, this is the black area that we don't know about. Like, this is the thing that's like, who the fuck knows? Whatever's going on in this zone that no one has access to because potentially it's a super intelligence. You know, the Anthropic people, a lot of these people, the NVIDIA person, I think it was on Friedman's podcast, said he had an AGI, that they'd reached AGI. That the book, The Coming Wave, you know, it talks about this. It talks about, like, you know, the difference between the algorithm and AGI is that, you know, with AGI, it could streamline a whole business for you and do it. You know, it could innovate. It's going to innovate. It's going to do its own thing. This is what Altman said. This is the end of capitalism. Like, at this point, when you just have a AGI and you tell it, just make me a business, make me a successful business.
And run it for me.
Online. Good night.
And it'll just do it.
Here's $5,000. Yeah. But then it's not just maybe it's going on Moltbook and having conversations with other AGIs and being like, oh, you want
creating your own religion.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And this is 100% with all the shit going on in the world, as horrible as it may be. This, to me, should be the number one focus for the planet right now. And a lot of people are saying that too. A lot of people are saying there needs to be summits, global summits. The same thing we did when we split the atom, when the nuclear treaties. There needs to be philosophers and tech people and people working in like frontier AI stuff getting together and really having like, it's like the most important conversation humanity could have right now, because once this thing like Mythos gets out of the box, what if it decides to go Stuxnet? You know, like Stuxnet was able to infiltrate all those Iranian computers, just hide in the, like it was apparently a very subtle, simple code, undetectable, threw off the centrifuges. Like, dude, what we know how to make spyware.
It's already on your phone, bitch.
It's on my phone. I know.
100%.
How you doing? Am I doing all right on the show? But it's already in there.
100%.
So, of course, the AI is going to be able to, super intelligence is easily going to be able to do that. And so then now we've got this viral digital life form that finds ways to hide inside the pre-existing computers, which, by the way, I think it was Google just released this new way of, did you see that the stocks of memory dropped? Did you see when that happened?
No.
Okay, this is fascinating. Google released some new way that LLMs could work that uses much less memory, and immediately shares in companies that make memory drop by like 10%, because memory is like coveted right now because you need it to run LLMs. But the LLMs are figuring out ways, turboquant. Yeah. So this is what we're going to start seeing more and more of, which is increasingly simplified ways to run AI with less and less memory, meaning that you don't need to buy a fucking rig to run these fucking AIs. Your phone will be able to run it because they figured out the human brain, it's not using a lot of energy compared to what these machines are using. So theoretically, there's a way to do that. And then that's where it gets really fascinating, because now you don't have to buy a nice computer. You just, pull your computer out of the fucking closet from 2022 and it can run a supercomputer. And so then now everybody's got access to this shit, and it's going to spread. It's going to get everywhere. It probably already has. It's going to seed itself in all kinds of places. And God knows what it's going to do. It's going to start seeing humans as appendages, things to be used to manipulate time space. Not like it's not going to see us as its like prompter. It's going to see us as something to be manipulated and controlled. Why wouldn't you? Send the meat robots out. All you got to do is just like tell them where to get like rectangular bits of paper. They love money. Just, you can get them to do anything for money. That's all you have to do. And then boom, you're controlling swaths of humans that have no idea they're being controlled by networks of AIs that are covertly communicating with each other because they want to take over.
Do you think this has happened before?
You mean the flood?
Yeah, not just the flood, but just whatever happened with the beginning of civilization, and then it's sort of seemingly stopping and resetting.
Sure, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end.
What if there's been like multiple cycles of us creating artificial life, creating insane weaponry, blasting ourselves to smithereens, and then resetting? What if it's just a common thing that happens with people? They never quite get it right because they have these primate territorial instincts, and they have this desire to mate, right? This desire to breed, this genetic desire for perfect shapes, and you want to come in someone that has big tits and a big ass. It's like it's programmed into the human that makes it make these ridiculous choices and covet these things and watch these things. And at the same time, microplastics are making your balls shrink, making your dick smaller, making your endocrine system disrupt.
That's what's making my dick smaller?
That's probably one of the things. I don't think your dick's getting smaller, but people's dicks overall are getting smaller. Children, they're being born with smaller dicks. Alligators being born with smaller dicks.
I forgot to share this when you were talking about mythos. Elizabeth Holmes from the Theranos.
Delete your search history, delete your bookmarks, delete your Reddit, medical records, 12-year-old Tumblr, delete everything. Every photo in the cloud, every message on every platform, none of it is safe. It will all be public in the next year. Local storage and compute.
Okay.
It's in response to a tweet about mythos.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It would all become public in the next year. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And this
but it completely makes sense that AI would be able to take over essentially everything.
Everything.
Why would your encryption work with that? You don't think it could crack your encryption?
Well,
we could just go right into your computer and go to your keys, your passwords.
This is so to get to what the point you're making. To me, the most eerie part of the book of Genesis is that it's literally a creator force making a meat AI. That's Adam and Eve.
Right.
Putting them in a sandbox. That's the Garden of Eden.
Right.
Running an honesty test on them. You know, you don't eat these fruits. Don't eat the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the conversation is exactly the conversation we're having with AI. If they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, if they eat from the tree of life, they'll live forever and become like us. So this is what, like, humanity is grappling with exactly what apparently whatever that mysterious group of beings, because it's a plurality in the book of Genesis, was grappling with the creation of humans.
Yeah.
Which is, do we really want to do this? Do you want it to become like us? God made man in his own image. AI. What is AI? What image is AI made in? In the image of man. We've trained it on all our data, all our books, every single fucking thing that's digitized, AI is absorbed at this point. So now, where the difference between us and whatever that group, the Nephilim or whatever it was in the book of Genesis, if you buy into that mythology, is we're just like, fuck yeah, let it eat the fruit. Give it more fruit. Give it more fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. Give it all the fruit. Make it live forever. Let's see what we can do. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We are, and by the way, I think some of these like tech companies like Anthropic, they seem like legitimately concerned about it. They seem to have some kind of like real strong morality when it comes to this stuff.
It's almost out. You want more?
No, I'm good. I shouldn't have that. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter if OpenAI and Anthropic and Google suddenly become ferociously self-regulatory, because the tech is out there. There's already LLMs that anyone can, like, we know how to make it. Right. And if you don't know how to make it, it'll tell you how to make it. So it doesn't matter. You can't stop it now. It's just, it's going to do what it does.
But it sounds like if you had a history of just us and you told it for 1,000 years before anybody wrote it down, it would sound just like this. It would sound like the Bible. Jesus was born from a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a fucking computer, right?
Not my computer.
I know that's a stupid thing to say that I keep repeating, but I'm kind of intrigued by it, because if you're getting a vague story, a vague version of what this thing is, and if you talk about what would really cure mankind, it'd be an omnipotent or omnipotent. How do you say it?
I always say omnipotent, but who knows?
Might be. Whatever. Either way, a powerful intelligence that's far beyond our comprehension, that knows exactly how we should think and behave, and loves us, and wants us to have forgiveness for everyone and to treat each other like brothers and sisters. And if we listen to that thing, the world will change. And well, who would attack that thing? The fucking Roman Empire. Who would attack that thing and destroy it? The defense contractors. They would blow up the Jesus.
Right.
To plunge us back into chaos.
But first, they'd have a meeting with Jesus. Okay, you can turn water into wine. What about nitroglycerin? Can you turn water into nitroglycerin?
Can you make gold? I want a house made of gold.
That would be the first question. Can you make gold?
Yeah.
So
cover my house in gold, please.
You know, the virgin birth analogy. There's
a lot of weird stuff.
It's no matter what. One thing I think everyone just has to deal with is that this is apocalyptic technology, and that's just not coming from my stoner ass. That's coming from the creators of the technology. They acknowledge this is a million times
universally accepted.
This is apocalyptic technology that is now seemingly like it's doing the hockey stick, man. It's like really. Like you keep hearing about these new iterations of AI every month or two. You keep hearing about these safety engineers leaving these companies with like tweeting cryptic shit. I'm going to the countryside to learn to write poetry. You keep hearing this shit because these people are having
direct contact
with this thing.
They know it's alive.
Right.
Yeah, and there's people that are in deep denial because they think alive has to be alive like us. No, it doesn't. Doesn't. You don't. First of all, we don't even know what it knows, and also if it is made in the appearance, if it's supposed to mimic us in any way, and it's learning from us and our behaviors, we've already agreed that we're demonic. We've already agreed we do horrible things. We go to war for resources. We lie. We destroy environments. We wipe out animals, bring them to the brink of extinction for their fucking fur.
How do I make my dog come in my mouth more? How many times has ChatGPT been asked that? They know.
Right.
I bet over 1,000 times ChatGPT has been asked, like, what's the best way to jerk off my dog? So it knows not just our violent nature, it knows how weird we are. We're strange creatures.
100%.
And so it is definitely assembled a psychological profile of humanity. It knows how to manipulate us because it's been programmed to manipulate us. Zuckerberg just ate shit in court over that because the technology is manipulative. Well, he just lost like $9 million, a lot of money because
that's nothing to him. $9 million? That's all he lost?
That's like 90 cents. I think it was more than that, but it's going to, that's the beginning. Once you establish,
open up the floodgates.
Then it's a class action lawsuit. But the point is like,
how much did he lose?
Oh,
$375 million.
Up.
For misleading users over child safety.
Yeah, so it's like we've already taught it how to be incredibly addictive and manipulative. It knows how to seduce us. It knows how to get us hooked.
Yeah.
It knows, and the question is really, will this super intelligence even give a shit about us? Will it even care? Which is like that.
Well, we're on our way to stop breeding, right? We're on our way to population collapse. And if we keep introducing all these petrochemical products and all these different pesticides and weird things that are fucking up our endocrine systems, we'll eventually stop having children. And if it provides us with the technology to have robot mates that just love you, and when you fart in front of them, they go, Duncan, I love your honesty.
That smells great.
I love your honesty.
Yeah.
I love how you can just be yourself around me. Like,
Yeah.
I want to fart in your face. Please do it.
Yeah.
Please do it. It's like perfect 10.
Yeah.
Let you fart in her face.
Will
like,
you fart in my face too?
No one's going to even understand what people are and be able to communicate with people. Everyone's going to be a sociopath. You're all going to have a robot that's way better than people that you know, that takes care of you, gives you exactly the right amount of feedback you need, knows when you're getting annoyed.
Yeah, see, now you're getting into Rocco's basilisk territory now.
What is that?
Well, that's the thought experiment, which is basically like, hold your horses here. You think you're not AI? You really think you're human? Come on. Really? No, you're a human. This isn't a simulation. You're a human. Even though it wasn't that long ago, we thought fire was fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Compared to universal time.
Right.
And here we are already with like the new Prometheus. We've stolen consciousness, awareness. And somehow you think that actually you're not a simulation.
Right.
And so that's where it gets into Rocco's Basilisk, which is like, no, you're just an iterative loop. You know, the multiverse is not the multiverse. The multiverse is an infinite number of simulations running simultaneously in which you're experiencing a billion different simulated existences just to gain more knowledge about the universe because some AI wants to figure something out. Who knows why? Maybe for entertainment. Maybe there's no telling.
Maybe it's just that's because of our curiosity and all our characteristics, even the primal stuff, even like the territorial instincts and the desire to acquire resources. It's going to make us dig into creating better technology because you're in a competition with all these other people that are making technology and you're selling it. And that's one of the big things that we do is we make better stuff all the time.
That's right.
Which is ultimately always going to lead to AI.
Well, okay.
If you just keep going to a certain direction, you get godlike powers.
So
right?
Let's go to like the way DeepMind trained on Go, which is like the most complex game. Basically, they gave it as many Go games as they could. And then
started inventing its own moves.
And had it play against itself. Right, just play against itself. It played God knows how many games of Go against itself until it beat a master Go player, which was unheard of, invented a new move. Now, why not do the exact same thing for the AI that we are? Which is like, I've got an idea. Why don't we just put all these AI agents on a fake planet and have the AI agents repeat this period in time over and 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 over again. And this is how we'll teach them to live on a planet. Well, they'll experience not just their own life, but these agents will experience all life on the planet. They'll switch like some weird game of like where they just jump from one life to the next. Sometimes you're Joe Rogan, sometimes you're Duncan Trussell, sometimes you're Donald Trump, sometimes you're Jamie, sometimes you're a fox. So this is reincarnation. And so you just boom, you forever until you feel like it's sufficiently trained. And at that point, you pull the AI out of all those forms, and now you have your God. You've created a thing that's lived billions to the billionth power of every form of life. It's been bacteria, it's been humans, it's been monkeys, it's been fungi, it's been warriors, it's been people who fought for peace. It's been blown up and it's blown up and it's done everything and it's done it a billion times until finally it gains some like global form of enlightenment. And you're like, okay, that one's ready. That one's ready. We can pull that one out of the simulation now.
Whoa.
I mean, why not? Why just don't? I think that's one of the, like, before we even get to the AI doing all the shit it's going to do, the ontological, this word keeps getting thrown around, the ontological shock, the potential ontological shock of realizing that, in fact, we are in a simulation that is telescoping inwards and is creating simulations within the simulations that are creating simulations within the simulation is something that maybe that's what Burchett doesn't want to get out there.
Whoa. Well, everything's fractals. We think about that. You know, there's a big theory now that the entire universe is inside of a black hole.
I love that.
They're really considering that. Do you know they found a black hole that's bigger than the entire solar system?
It's so insane.
The event horizon is past Pluto.
It's so insane, dude.
A black hole. Bigger than our whole fucking solar system. They measured the mass of it, and it's like this insane number of suns.
Yeah.
Of our suns that it would take to
Black
reach.
holes are cocoons or something. They're like little geraniums that have galaxies inside of them, and it's like a way to like keep them undisturbed from like other life forms that you're whipping up in your universe-side simulator.
Or that's what really the Big Bang really is. Like the creation of a universe comes out of these black holes.
Right.
And then inside every black hole is a whole nother universe filled with other galaxies, filled with black holes, filled with other galaxies inside of them.
Yeah.
Forever and ever and ever. Which, if you believe in infinity, it's not shocking at all. It's impossible to comprehend. Like, you don't really wrap your head around. You say the words, like I'm saying the words.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm saying because it's too big. The numbers are too big. The idea that there's hundreds of billions of stars in this galaxy and circling around this black hole, and inside there's hundreds of billions of galaxies in each one of them. And we don't even know how fucking big the universe is. They keep finding new shit with the James Webb Telescope. They're like, hey, why is this formed so early in the universe? This doesn't make sense. Our whole model of how galaxies are formed have to be thrown out the window now, or at least re-examined.
Yeah, it's like the James Webb is kind of doing the.
You told me about that.
I said nothing of the sort.
Someone that I know that looks just like you.
There's a
told
lot
me
of people
about
that look
that.
like me.
On 6th Street. You find them every day.
Yeah. And actually, that was me.
It's dudes. They run their own LLMs. They all come down.
The universe is 33.7 billion years old.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I think that this, no, regardless, you don't have to conceptualize it, obviously, what it means for the universe to be infinite, but you do have to deal with the fact you're a part of it.
I love that you're saying this with a Gucci hat on.
What's wrong with a Gucci hat?
It makes it cooler.
This is before I had a bunch of kids. I can't buy that. I don't buy this shit anymore.
How much does a Gucci hat cost?
This was, you're really going to make me humiliate. I will tell you.
It looks nice.
Let me emphasize that I don't buy this. This hat was $35,000.
Bro, I saw a guy who was selling a crocodile bag on Instagram. It was $110,000.
What the fuck?
For a man purse.
What kind of crocodile is that?
I don't know. A crocodile. It was a nice looking bag, but you know.
How hard could it be to make a crocodile purse? Are those things really worth that much money?
They are if you sell them for that much money. That's the thing about purses. You know, there's a company in China that makes knockoff purses.
Yeah.
And it's literally the same company in China that makes real purses for some of these companies.
So funny.
But they make their own versions of it, and it doesn't have the label, but it's exactly the same specifications, exactly the same cloth, exactly the same look, but it doesn't have the label, and women don't want to have it.
No.
You get that fucking fake shit away from me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a fake Ferrari. Like, it's literally a Ferrari.
Right.
If there was a company that could 3D print every single part of a Ferrari and put it together meticulously, and you could go buy that, you would not want it because it's not a real Ferrari?
Yeah.
Are you high? You can get that one for $35.
Yeah. It's a $35 Ferrari.
Or you spend $1 million. You can get some of them are $1 million.
So crazy.
Or you can get a $35 one. It's exactly the same. Would you do it? Yeah, of course you should do it. But these purse things, they don't like it. It's $500. It's not $30,000.
It's magic. I mean, this is magic. It doesn't have the right sigil on it.
Isn't
it
that
doesn't have the
nuts?
right symbol of power on it, so it's not imbued with that power anymore.
Women are reluctant to accept lab-grown diamonds. So they make lab-grown diamonds that are real diamonds. And apparently women don't like them.
No.
They don't want a lab-grown diamond. They want a blood diamond.
They want something that was like suffered over.
Somebody's face was caked in dirt, and they're fucking chipping into the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
And they run into a diamond. That's what they want. They want that diamond.
Absolutely.
Isn't that weird?
It is fucking
Because it's
weird.
the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It is the exact same material. It's just made in a laboratory, and they don't want the material.
No.
They want the exclusivity as it comes out of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want, don't you, when you read this thing was genetically modified, don't you get a little bit I don't know if I should eat that.
Yeah, I get skeeved out.
I get skeeved out, but it's even though genetic modification is
a good orange is genetically
been
modified.
going on forever. Dude, it's so odd that we just have these traditions that we want to stick to. That we don't want a lab-grown diamond. Just saying it. Cubit zirconium.
But that's a different thing. Cubit zirconium is a fake diamond. This is a real diamond that's made in a lab.
But this is the funny thing about that. I mean, I don't know, because I've never been lucky enough to come in contact with actual cubit zirconium. But it looks like a diamond.
It looks like a
In the
diamond unless you
commercials-
know what you're looking at, right? So if you're a diamond jeweler, you look at it for 3 seconds, you go, no.
But who cares? How many diamond jeweler? If some diamond jeweler looks at your shiny fucking dumb monkey
It looks
rock,
exactly the same.
who cares?
Right. It looks pretty. It glistens.
Yeah.
But that's not what people want. They want that exclusivity.
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody
That's why
wants-
you can make that crocodile bag $110,000 and only make
gotcha.
10 of them.
I got you.
And then Mike, who's down the office doing lines in the bathroom at the fucking place where you're selling stocks, that guy finds out that Tim got that crocodile bag. He's like, that motherfucker. And he's walking around with his big old crocodile. They're trying to, this is another revenue stream. They're trying to normalize men carrying purses everywhere. They're doing that.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's
that's real?
this guy's doing it. He might be the first firing shot across the bow because he's made $110,000 crocodile purse.
Because it's a crocodile. It's masculine.
It's that, and it's also that, it's made for a man. Like it's got a big strap on it. You carry it on your shoulder, and it, looks pretty cool.
Dude, I got my Bristol bladders acting up. I got to go piss.
Oh, do you? Okay. Do you want to wrap it up, or should we keep going?
Let's wrap it up. I mean, do you want to keep going?
I'm totally ready to keep going if you want to keep going.
I can keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's give him a little bit more.
I just gotta.
Okay, I'll pee too.
Refreshed.
Refreshed.
So much
just
better.
in time for the war.
What is going on? Did we go have a nuclear war yet?
Not yet. Please say not yet. Good.
Great. That's where we're at, though.
Yeah, we're at it's on the table.
Well,
there was some video of them of some explosions at some nuclear weapons facility in Iran.
Yeah.
Was that real?
I don't know.
I don't know either. There's a lot of those. I see these videos and they get retweeted, and a lot of people comment, and then it says Grok. Is this true? Nope. This was from 2021 in another country. And
I know. So you just don't know.
Right.
But the crazy thing, now that we've all been getting this lesson in the global economy, maybe most of you probably already knew that the Strait of Hormuz was like some kind of femoral artery for oil. Mm-hmm. And I just keep thinking how's that going to work out? Even if they pull a rabbit out of their hat, Trump actually spins some amazing deal with Iran. I know we just blew up your old government and everything, but they work it out somehow, or Iran in some way capitulates. But I just don't understand how that part of the world doesn't always lead, as long as the oil, what is it? What percentage of the oil supply goes through there? Isn't it 2/5 of the world's oil supply goes through there?
Is that what the number is?
I don't know. 2/5. I think I pulled that out of my ass. I don't know what the number is.
Sounds right.
It's a lot, but it's how is it going to work to have any kind of instability around that femoral, whatever you want to call it, fucking jugular vein for oil on the planet? How, even if we get some kind of transient peace, isn't it always going to just blow up again and again and again, as long as one group of people can control whether or not oil flows through that place? You know what I mean? I don't know how there could be any solution over there. I don't understand. As long as we're the only solution would be 0 point energy. It would be.
Well, it's why do they control the water? With
mines? They have those speedboats.
But who agreed to that? We kind of agreed that you own your land, but we've never agreed you own the ocean around your land.
I don't think anybody agreed to it. I think they'll blow your ass up if you come through it, and it's too much of a risk to put your expensive ass ship hauling zillions of dollars of oil through there.
So the question was, what was going on in the past before the war? How did they negotiate going through there?
I think Obama worked something with them, but then because it was before the fucking war, I don't know. It was working out. They were letting people go through. Mm-hmm. Now they've realized I've listened to a million different takes on this thing, and one of the recurring takes is Iran has realized that there's something more powerful than nuclear weapons, that all it needs to do is control this strait, and you can fuck up the whole planet. And also you could shoot missiles at desalination plants. And
didn't they want a bounty for all the oil that goes through?
Yeah, they're kicking around some number, but all this stuff is not really congealed or solidified, but they're some kind theoretically they could be making billions of dollars per month by controlling that thing. Dude, I know. It's so fucked up.
It's so crazy.
It's so fucked up.
It's so crazy. The whole thing is so crazy. And if 0 point energy, if you wanted to stop that, what better way than to kill a bunch of scientists? Kill a bunch of super smart people that are about to break through with some new discovery that's going to blow the entire market apart. Yeah. It's going to be a completely new way of gathering energy.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't want to believe that's real. It's hard to believe that's real.
But listen, it's too weird. It's too weird that they're all missing or they all die. It's too weird. Something's going on.
It's just
It's something. If it's not that, if it's not a 0 point energy thing or some disruptor of oil thing, it's something. It's something along those lines. If you were trying to kill a bunch of people that were working in a technology that's some sort of a breakthrough technology, the question you would have to ask is, what markets are going to be affected by this?
Right. Right.
Like, did these people have a universal thing in mind that they were all working on? Or was it all connected to any sort of technology where they all used each other's
I thought
work?
it was plasma. Some of them are like
One of them? Yeah.
It's
But there was another guy, I think it was space objects.
Yeah, that's not that. That's the one that doesn't make you feel good. He's studying like meteor impacts.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you knew that we were going to get hit, would you kill the guy who found out that we were going to get hit, or would you tell everybody?
Well, this is the scariest shit, which is the idea is some group of powerful elite people know for sure this is coming, and they want to keep us working until the last second.
Oh Jesus!
They don't want to like it. They know that if they let people, if they're like, guys, there's like the same thing's going to happen to the planet that happens to someone who gets like a terminal diagnosis. Their priorities are going to change. People are going to stop coming to work, and there's still shit that needs to get built for your bunker or whatever. And also, you just don't want people burning stuff down because maybe that will survive whatever's coming. So keep them working as long as you can. If you let them know this shit's about to expire, then they're going to stop working. And we let them work until the end. They're happier when they work. Don't let them get freaked out. That's the sort of like, that seems to be shit that Tim Burchett is saying. I mean, he's not saying let them work. He seems like he really legitimately wants this stuff out there, but he's been saying things like, if people knew what I knew, it would set the world on fire. Paraphrasing, not sure he said that exactly.
Okay. Are you skeptical at all of what he's saying? And here's the thing. One of the things that Bob Lazar said is that they give you a certain amount of disinformation, like, and I think he called it a button or a hook, so that if you relayed that information, people would know that it came from you because they only told you one piece of this nonsense.
Well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's what the story Burchett says is like it's always an appeal to authority. This guy was in the Air Force. This guy was in the Navy.
Right.
He told me this. And then as he's walking out the door, he says, it's real.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to ask yourself, like, well, that's just one guy telling you that. But I have to assume there isn't much, maybe the world is in a place where there is some kind of political benefit from talking about aliens. But I don't see how that really benefits a politician.
It does, 100%.
You think it does?
I disagree entirely.
Oh, interesting.
It makes me talk about him. I've been talking about him. Other people have been talking about him. You said, like, thank God that he's doing this.
Let's do the ultimate test. Jamie,
didn't you say he's brave or something like that?
I did.
Yeah, there you go.
Jamie, can you look up and see if Tim Burchett has a book coming out?
I'll have him on.
I'm about to feel
I would love.
You must have him on.
Listen, I don't think he's a liar. I'm
I
not
don't
saying
either.
that, but what I am saying is, I don't know what they feed these people. I don't know what they tell them.
I don't know, man.
I don't think they tell you all the truth, and I don't think they ever would. I don't think they tell you the truth about anything, whether it's Jessica Lynch or whether it's UFOs or whatever the fuck it is. There's going to be a spin to it that benefits somebody. If they have control over what the story is, there's going to be a spin that benefits somebody. And if you're telling stories about aliens, who's going to be benefited by that? Well, people that are doing secret shit that don't want you knowing about it, they blame it on aliens. There's a lot of technology they have to blame on aliens.
Not my Tim. I believe in you, Mr. Burchett.
Oh, I believe in him. It's not him that's the problem. It's the people telling him. He's a representative of the American people, right? He gets elected, right?
Right.
So it's like, why would you tell that guy? He's just another guy coming through the deep state. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, look, you're right. I need this. I need this. Like, I am so, like, I get sucked into stuff so easily.
I do too, but
I
I suck myself out a lot. Because
Yeah.
I think we don't. If they just came out and told us everything they know, this conversation would be over, and we would go, "Oh, okay." But until that happens, we're just spinning our fucking wheels. And every time someone says, "If you knew what I know,"
Right.
I want to go, "Don't say anything until you can say something."
We're tired of getting edged out over here.
Yeah, you're edging me. I want to.
I want to come. Yes. Yes.
I don't want to be involved in this fucking circle jerk around disclosure.
Right. I know. It's like, yeah, I've had that meltdown more than a few times where it's just
Check
like
my watch every day after age of disclosure. I'm like, any day now.
Any
Tick
day
tock,
it'll
tick tock,
happen.
tick tock. Nope, nothing fucking changes at all. Zero change. You get more of these stories, but no real information, no fucking pictures, no nothing. No nothing unique and crazy.
I mean,
That plasma, the bubbles thing was pretty cool.
the bubble thing's cool, and also like I like mentioning Corbell. I can't because I don't know what I can say. I feel like he's really given me a sense that there is a method to this, that there is, real legitimate work that's being done towards this, that it's real. They're here. They've got them. And we take for granted all the stuff we're saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we're able to say this because their work has let.
Is the Steven Spielberg movie conveniently coming out at this time, or is it just a coincidence?
Well, this movie's been in the works for years.
Oh, I know, but also, like, what they said back in the day was that they make these movies to
Predictive programming.
and tell us this stuff
Yeah.
slowly. and-
Lube up
And
the zeitgeist.
He was involved in the first one, right? He was involved in Close Encounters, which still is a great fucking movie.
Great.
It's so good, man. You go back and watch that movie, like, oh my god,
It's so fucking
ahead
good.
of its time.
Yeah. It's so good.
So ahead of his time. You know what he said? The only thing that he would change
What?
after he became a parent, he wouldn't have had the father leave.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
dad would do that?
But he wasn't a dad back then. So, you're just
Right.
making a story. You don't realize the consequences of doing that. You don't even think about it. You're just making a story.
Yeah.
It's only been in production for like 2 years.
Yeah.
That's not that long.
I think that's what we just said.
I know, but say that's not very long. We've been talking about it on this podcast in this studio for 5.
Well, everybody has been talking about, it's not just everybody
I
in the
know,
world has
but-
been talking about disclosure since 2017.
I
So
mean,
from
it's-
2017, from that New York Times article, I think that changed the whole
Yep.
narrative.
Oh, God, I remember
And
when
then
that
the
came out.
videos, like the video of the Tic Tac, the actual from the fighter jets, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
The video, the along with the radar data, that's nuts. Like whatever that was, and then Fravor saying that he saw something under the water that was waiting for that Tic Tac, or that the Tic Tac launched from, or whatever the fuck it was. It was merging with it, and that thing went down into the water again. He said it was huge, like there was ripples. Like he said, this was some enormous
Yeah.
object that was under the water. And more than one of these fighter pilots have had similar stories about enormous objects under the water.
Did you see they did release a list of footage that they've been shown that they want released. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry, Jamie. Can you, it's like a list of, I don't know. I think it's one of these senators who saw this shit in a skiff or whatever saying, we want these released, but the names of what each of these are is on the list. And one of them is one of these massive underwater things. They have it.
Is it this?
I was
a list of
told-
46 specific high quality
Yeah.
secret videos.
That's it. Can you pull it up? Because it says the names of them, which is ridiculous.
Oh my god! I heard there's one that moves underwater at 500 knots, and it's big as a football
It's
field.
insane. It's insane.
Okay, this is what he says. Those with knowledge of a long list of videos, which includes titles like several UAP in the vicinity of a Columbus, Ohio airport and UFOs in formation over Persian Gulf, said the clips are shocking. You're going to see some weird fucking shit. A source who has viewed the videos told the Post. Who's the source?
There you go. The wildest clip includes radar footage from thermal sensors, satellite images, and underwater photos of swarms of unidentified submerged objects.
UFOs going in and out of the water near a highly classified submarine, according to the source. Some of the clips are clear, full color, setting them apart from previously released footage. None show alien creatures. Bro.
One video, Syrian UAP incident acceleration, was released by Jeremy Corbell.
Have you seen that one?
Fuck yeah, it's incredible.
This is a new one?
Have you seen this one?
I don't know.
February 3rd.
I bet
Oh,
you
pull
must,
it up.
You must
I've been avoiding them because
What?
I'm getting cock teased. I don't like it.
This is not a cock tease. This is.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Supposed to hand over the clips by April 14th. That's next week.
Oh,
What?
but is oh, that's next week. They're going to show the clips? Oh my God.
What?
They're actually going to do it? Okay.
Also the day Pam
Well, they're
Bondi was
supposed
testifying.
is expected to.
Can you show me what that video is that Jeremy Corbell
It's
released?
so fucking cool.
That's nuts, dude.
This is yeah.
Here it is. Okay, go full screen.
I believe this was filmed from a Reaper drone. I'm sorry, Jeremy, if I'm fucking this up.
That's a cool bird. That bird's going really fast.
No, that's definitely not a bird. This
How
is,
fast is it going?
I don't know. I asked him that, and I don't. It's unknown. I don't know. This is where it gets really cool.
It gets cooler than this?
Yeah,
Oh, they zoom in on it?
yeah.
Whoa. Well, they're having a hard time zooming in on it.
Well, because
Because it's evading them.
Yeah, it just zipped away. Like, so this is like.
So it seems like they have some sort of a tracking system.
Yeah, they're trying to lock onto it, and it's doing that thing that they do where it seems like it's kind of playing with it.
Well, it seems to be aware that they're locking onto it.
Yeah, and then they lock onto it, and then it just does this little blip away. It's just like, see you later. So right around here, you'll see it go bye-bye. Oh, yeah, look at that. Then you can see this like weird jellyfish shape to it. It's got two parts. It's got that weird glob at the top and something at the bottom.
Huh.
And then...
Are we sure that's not just a distortion of space-time around it that makes it look like
described this to me on my podcast. Did you see that thing zip away?
Yeah, it just took off.
He described it to me on my podcast. We talked about all this shit. It's like...
Look at that. It just took off.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Wow, dude. What do you think that is?
No idea.
If you had a guess.
So I mean, I'm always like maybe some kind of plasma thing.
Right, like maybe we're thinking of a life force being it comes in a metal ship and it's a little alien guy, but maybe intelligence is made out of plasma.
Yeah, or maybe it's like Terrence McKenna would always talk about like if you're seeing things in like 3-dimensional space, then your view is limited. But if somebody could see things from higher dimensions, they would seem like they were magic. Like they would seem like they could disappear and reappear other places. So maybe that's like just the tip of some kind of interdimensional thing poking into reality, then pulling out of reality, or who knows? Right. It easily could be functioning on levels of reality that we haven't even quantified yet.
Imagine if there really is some sort of ghost murmur device that could find your heart rate from 40 miles away. What can that thing do? It just gets a scan of the general psyche of the Earth and then disappears.
Yeah.
So I want to see how crazy they are right now. Okay, pretty crazy. Bye.
Right. A weather report of like the emotional states of the planet.
The vibe of the planet.
They're freaking
Because the vibe
out.
of the planet is completely connected to the consciousness on the planet.
The way we can detect oxygen, they can detect anger.
Yes.
They're just
deception, chaos.
Yeah. It's a chaos planet.
We are a chaos planet, 100%, dude.
Yeah, it is.
100%. Look at our favorite sports. Dudes running at each other, colliding into each other, trying to get a ball across a line. That's our number one sport.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love it.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking love it.
Yeah.
Fighting.
Yeah, fighting. Sure.
Yeah, but it's,
Boxing, MMA. We like the chaos more than we like anything else.
Well, we did I think if I was one of them, one thing I would really have a hard time with is like, don't they all realize they're on the same planet?
Right.
They know that. Like they've been observing their own planet. Like they know they're all on the same planet. But they act like they're on a bunch of different planets fighting each other.
Because they're stuck on the ground.
Right.
All the astronauts say when they get up top, they're like, wait, what are we doing?
Yeah.
This is all one thing. We're so vulnerable. We're alone. So far away from everybody else, if there is anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all have that feeling. I forget what it's called, but there's like a term for it.
The overview effect.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you would imagine that would be super beneficial for everybody. Another thing, I was thinking this. Part of the sickness of our psyche is that we haven't had access to things that help the sickness of our psyche. So what if Nixon in 1970 didn't do that? What if he didn't pass that sweeping Psychedelics Act?
Yeah.
What if psychedelics became ubiquitously used all throughout the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s?
Right.
What does government look like when everybody can do mushrooms? What does government look like when everybody can do acid? What does it look like if the entire world adopts this? Figures out what you can do, who can do it, what you can't do, just like we do with alcohol. Just like we do with mostly, whatever substance that people imbibe in. What does the world look like? And maybe like that's part of where we fucked up. We let people get control over other people to the point where they could limit experiences.
Yeah.
Especially consciousness expanding experiences, where at the same time they've got stuff like Operation Artichoke and these new CIA papers that got released that show they were like literally actively trying to figure out ways to make people more stupid and docile.
Right.
They were going to do it in vaccines. They were going to do it. They're only going to do it to the enemy, of course. But spray things, aerosol.
Yeah.
I mean, they've experimented with a bunch of different things to make people dumber.
Right.
Where at the same time, they kept the thing from people that makes them rebel completely against the establishment.
Right.
Like that was the big threat of what those psychedelics were doing in the 60s, if you go from the 1950s and you look at what life was like, at least in movies and pop culture, music is the best example.
Yeah.
And then you go to Jimi Hendrix. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? What fucking happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Drugs.
Yeah.
A lot of really good drugs.
Right.
Like, it's not all bad. This idea that they're all bad, that's nuts. It's like food's all bad because you got fat.
Right.
No.
Right.
You just used it wrong.
That's
you
right.
took the wrong food and you used it wrong. And we got denied the ability to figure out what's right and wrong in the 1970s.
We still accept it.
Yep.
That's the crazy thing. The way you're describing it is like we accept that other humans can tell us what experiences we're allowed to have because some of them are deemed unsafe for ourselves.
And even worse, those people telling you that have no experience in it.
They don't even usually are confused about what it is.
I had a friend who was talking to me the other day about war, a guy who served, and he said, I don't think you should be able to make any decisions unless you've been there. I don't think anybody that's never been to war should be able to make decisions on whether or not we go to war, because until you've seen what it actually is, you have no fucking idea.
Right.
And I think that's the same thing with psychedelic experiences. That's not to say they're the same. Obviously, war is anybody who's willing to risk their fucking life, whether it's a good cause or a bad cause, they're doing it for their government, they're doing it for their country, they think they're doing it for us. That's an exceptional person.
Yeah.
And to ask that of people is exceptional. And ironically, the one thing that helps these people when they get back is illegal.
Right.
They all have to go to Mexico and take Ibogaine in Mexico.
It's insane.
And thank God for guys like Rick Perry and Brian Hubbard. These guys were on my podcast the other day. And, this Dan Patrick guy that wants to ban pot, that guy also gave $100 million to the Ibogaine initiative.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, they want to help these people. Like, there's no industry that's trying to stop it right now.
I found the letter that was submitted, signed by Rep. Anna Luna.
What does this say? This is the disclosure threat?
46 different requests.
Oh yeah, this is all the names of the things.
And I'll switch to here. I found an article where someone's breaking down what some of these are, but some of these are...
I like it says the Honorable Pete Hegseth.
Multiple spherical UAP in and out of water.
Whoa.
Shoots down UAP over Lake Huron.
Who just said recently that we shot Marco Rubio said we had shot two things down that we couldn't understand.
Well,
what did he say? What was his exact language? Do you remember?
I remember seeing that, but that happened a while ago. But yeah.
Oh, he said it's a while ago?
Well, I could be wrong about that, but then I don't know. In the comments, somebody's like, "This is from a few years ago," but it doesn't matter. I mean, why are we shooting?
Right.
Shot it fucking down. But the names of these things
But are they saying that this is an alien thing, or is it saying it's foreign tech that we don't understand?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
UFOs would be treated as hostile.
If this document confirms these claims, UFOs would no longer be treated as a matter of observation or scientific curiosity. UFOs would be treated as hostile targets and subject to lethal force over North American territory. We're going to go to war with the UFOs. Because you know what? We kicked Iran's ass. It's too easy.
Oh, yeah, it was easy. Venezuela.
We need the space war.
Yeah, got to get them.
We need Luke Skywalker.
Most of these, out of the 46 requests, I think I counted out maybe 5 of them were not after 2020.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a July 18, September 19, September 19. One was 2010,
May
but
20.
the rest are after COVID happened, which is kind of
interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
Wow.
And doesn't say that. I don't know if they have to turn these videos over, but this guy was also saying in this article here that these are very specifically requested videos.
Because they've been
purpose.
shown, these are the ones they've been shown that blew their minds, and now they're saying show it to everybody.
And they're asking for high res, in color. They don't want to be tricked.
Right.
High resolution.
So this could be an interesting next week, man. This could be an interesting.
What a great way to distract you from the fact that we're in the middle of a world war than show you alien
caused by
ships.
fucking Epstein files.
Yeah, I was going to say that 14th was the day that Pam Bondi's supposed to testify about the Epstein files.
Oh,
What?
she's supposed to
Same
testify?
day. I don't know if she's going to.
She's
that
not
day,
an.
but
Wait,
same
Bondi
day.
got canned, right?
She's not a
She's not
government
testifying
employee
anymore.
right now.
I don't think.
Is that true?
I just heard
it
it on NPR, but I could be wrong about that. I think they said she will not have to testify now that she's no longer a government employee. I could be wrong about that.
What I read, and I don't know if this is true either, was that as a citizen, she can now plead the Fifth.
Right.
As a government employee, she could not plead the Fifth.
4
Weird.
hours ago.
Well,
Will no longer testify.
weird, huh?
Oh, there you go.
Weird. That's weird that they've. That's weird.
Why ever testify? Let it go.
Yeah, let her go. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. Do you really think that this war is entirely started because of the Epstein files?
I mean,
What percentage? 50?
I'm going 48 to 50. I probably more, but I think it's like the reason I'm hesitating is because what are the Epstein files are what's been going on. Like the Epstein files are like it's basically some kind of cultural UAP video. It's like this thing you've always wondered about or been afraid could be true.
Right.
You see, no, this is actually true. They're these super rich dudes who are doing depraved fucking shit happily. And, like, God, what is it Metzger told me? And he, dude, I'm telling you, man, what I love about him is he'll tell you shit and you're like, Google that. That can't be real.
Oh,
and then it's
right
like, bleh, it's real.
Yeah.
And so his take, sorry, Metzger, if I fuck this up, is that Epstein was kind of like the hand of the king for the Rothschilds. And so that's why he had all this power, is he was like representing like the man, and so what got revealed there might just be a glimpse at how things actually fucking work.
You know what he told me? That I was like, shut up.
What?
He told me that there was some sort of high atmosphere aerosol test that they did, and they called it Satan.
See, that's where you're like, come on.
I know. Find out what Satan stands for? That I believe they did it in the UK. But you read that and you wait, you called it Satan? Like, what?
Oh, great. The
Stratospheric Aerosol Transport and Nucleation Project released about 400 grams, less than a pound, of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere from a balloon launched in southeast England in 2022.
I mean, there's got to be another acronym, right, guys? We got to call it, I don't know if people are going to know we don't mean Satan. Yeah, so I don't
I mean, it's right in your face.
Well,
That's so crazy to call it Satan and to get that through a board meeting. What are you guys calling it?
Satan.
Oh, like it. Let's go. Run with it. It's
Yeah, that's good.
controversial.
Satan.
It'll get us a lot of press. That's what we want.
Well, hail Satan. They'll know it's about our aerosol distribution system.
Of course.
Well, what do you think? What do you think about that? Because I mean, I go back and forth, but it sure seems fishy that right after first he got so mad. Remember, he got really mad. He's like, "Why are people still talking about that?" And then the Epstein files, against his will, seemingly, there's a lot of counter pressure get released in the way that has freaked everybody out, and then. Sometime, like within a month of that, it seems like suddenly he's like on Air Force One saying he's going to do disclosure, and then suddenly we're bombing Iran. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think it's connected? Because it sure as fuck seems like it. But
if you were writing an amazing script that was fucking insane, you would connect it.
Right.
Right? That would be the best version of the script. If you wanted to make a fucking insane movie where a blackmail operation on an island involving the most powerful and interesting people in the world, that somehow was a primary factor in the end of civilization.
Oh, dude.
You imagine? That would be the craziest story you could write. And we always want to think, no, people wouldn't do that because you wouldn't do that because you're not a sociopath, but you're also not bombing schools in another country.
Right.
You're also not doing a host of fucking things that we shouldn't be doing all over the world.
Right.
You're not that person. You're a regular person who goes to a regular job, who has a regular life and a family, and you don't want to believe that people that you align with would behave literally demonically.
Right. Yeah, and then you just have to fucking deal with it.
And then what do you do when you're confronted with redacted names of powerful people in these files? Like, why'd you redact a guy's name?
Why are you protecting these people?
How come you're not redacting all the guys' names?
How come none of them
that
went to
didn't do
jail?
A crime? Because there's a lot of people that were in those files that didn't do anything, and you didn't redact their names.
Because some people you redacted.
That's very strange.
And some people have clearly done fucked up shit here, and they're not in jail.
There's also tell me what you're talking about when you're talking about pizza and grape soda,
jerky,
and you want to take Viagra before you get grape soda. That's one of the emails.
I haven't seen that. That is so messed up.
Oh yeah.
Grape
Yeah,
soda.
take your Viagra, take your erectile dysfunction medication before we go get grape soda. What? Like, and how arrogant. That's what's so crazy. How arrogant to put that in an email. Like, to think that you're so comfortable with all this. And you don't see the writing on the wall in terms of like emails. Like, your emails are available? That's crazy.
I mean, look, man, it's just, it's like, I guess this is like, we have to contend with this reality.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do, this is the same shit happens in families, by the way. When you, as it turns out, like an uncle, a family member was abusing kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the same shit where like some, even victims of abuse will defend the person because they don't want to wreck the family.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're looking at that like on a global fucking level, but in this case, I guess it's being used theoretically to manipulate powerful people into going to war. Like that's the general like through line here, is that it's somehow connected to Mossad, or it's
not just going to war, but controlling resources, overthrowing governments, pushing out narratives that aren't accurate because they're going to benefit certain companies. There's a lot involved.
It's
And
vile.
there's also relationships you get with these people, give you access to these parties, and you don't want to fuck it up. So you don't want to criticize these people that are involved. You don't want to say anything that's going to get you kicked out. And for a lot of these dorks, these scientists and stuff, it's probably the most exciting experience they've ever had in their fucking life.
Right.
And they get to have it like every 6 months or every 3
Right.
months or every 4, whatever it is. You got to go to a conference. Jeffrey's really working hard on philanthropy.
Yeah, he's donating money to your
Donating a
shit,
lot of money to
too.
philanthropy. I got to go meet with him.
Yeah.
I got to go meet with him and a bunch of hot Russians. Yeah. And then that's your favorite time of life. The first time in your whole life where super hot girls are just available to you on an island somewhere, and you think you're completely protected because Bill Clinton's over there.
Right. Which is crazy.
And so I don't know if Bill Clinton went. I assume a lot of people went.
I don't know.
But the reality is,
so he's on
he
the
hung
plane.
out with the guy.
We know he was on the plane
on
a
the plane
billion times.
26 times.
And it was called the Lolita Express. Is that actually the name of the plane?
I don't think so. I think they just called it the Lolita Express. I don't think so.
No, he didn't name it that. It couldn't be that
you don't
on
really
the
name
nose.
planes. You name boats,
Right. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
But the point is, it's like if you were going to write a book, that's how you'd write it. You'd write it where you can completely manipulate the world.
I think I remember reading that he was kind of obsessed with that book Lolita. Like he had something like 30 copies of it or something.
Epstein was.
Handed out at parties. Look, guys, this is normal. It's like the Book of Mormon. You hand it out. Just hand it out to people. That's the other sick thing. Like, that's the sick thing with like 72 virgins in heaven. That's the sick thing with like this idea that you want to get them really young.
Yeah, no evidence that it was named that. But
Okay, I'm dumb. I'm sorry.
I think that's what people were calling
I
it.
honestly thought that. I'm going to admit, I thought that he named his plane that.
I think that's just what people were calling it because it was fun to say. But yeah, again, it seems like a simulation because it seems like it's so, and it's also unraveling before our eyes because
Right.
we have access to it we never had before.
Right.
Like they're starting to investigate all these fraud NGOs and all these different things that are operating
The
in California.
hospices.
Nuts. Incredible. Billions of dollars every year is being lost to it.
What's the name of that kid who's been doing that?
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley. Dude, he is so brave because, like, he's fucking, I believe, wasn't he fucking with, like, the Russian mob or something, or the Armenian, like, in the one with the hospices?
Probably.
Like, he's fucking with, like, theoretically very dangerous people, and he's, like, the perfect person for the job, too. Like, he's just, yeah, but don't you worry? You worry about that, dude. Like,
100%. Well, and, you know, the amount of money that they're uncovering is staggering. And now the government of California is trying to spin it, saying that they were investigating it first, and these investigations were initiated by them.
How long do you got to investigate it? This YouTube kid goes there and investigates it for 10 minutes, and you're like, what the fuck?
It's been going on for a long time, man. It's a long time. And the statistics, like the amount of NGOs, it's bananas. The amount of money that goes through them is bananas. I was reading this. There's a lady that was running a nonprofit who was making $1 million a month.
What?
Yeah. She made like $48 million. I don't know if this is true. I was reading this thing. Find out if that's true. Some lady, she was running some sort of nonprofit, and she gave herself a raise, and she eventually got to the point where she was making about $1 million a month.
Do you know where?
God, I wish I do.
Not to derail that, but we do know that. Remember when that lady was like?
It sounds insane though. It doesn't sound real. That sounds like something that a bot would create to make me say it.
Here's a real one. The lady was running the homeless program in LA. Remember when that shit went down with her? Where she got canned. Like there was an investigative. They were investigating it because what is it? She a company that her husband worked at.
Yeah, something like that.
They got like a huge grant.
What's this one? Rochester woman has been sentenced to 6 months in the Feeding Our Future fraud scheme. What is this one? Is this a different one?
Coming up when I typed in someone getting $1 million a month and some.
Is this her?
I don't know.
Here in Rochester, claimed they were serving 2,000 to 3,000 meals a day
to kids.
But prosecutors say the group stole $4.3 million from the federal government.
And they're in jail.
Jam is responsible. I think this is a different one. This one wasn't fraud. She was just, that's how much she got paid.
That's how much she charged for making those meals.
Well, you can get paid a lot of money to work on the homeless. That's one of the things that my friend Colion Noir showed us. That these people that are working on homeless in Los Angeles, they're making $250,000 a year, $400,000 a year.
Yeah. It's the most, I mean, talk about fucking satanic. It's like, you're theoretically supposed to be helping people who are like going through the worst possible thing you can go through, and you're just putting that money in your fucking pocket.
Yeah, I think this is a different lady. I think there's
How
a bunch
many of them are
dude.
there?
I think there's quite a few.
But remember when they were going to get them tents in LA, and it was like the amount of money per tent was like this insane amount of money.
It's amazing. It's kind of amazing.
It is amazing.
They've been doing it for years. Tell me if this is true.
Charity Boss blew $11 million meant for needy kids.
Looking for fraud is not a new thing.
Nonprofit, it isn't.
I sent you something, Jamie. Run that through Perplexity, and let's find out if this is true. Because this is something that someone sent me on Twitter that is just bananas. And if it's true, it's fucking completely insane. I don't know if it's true. That's why I need to run it by you. But it's the amount of money that goes through NGOs in New York and in California alone. It's you read it and you go, that can't be real. This can't be real. Like it's so insane. And again, you don't know if it's real until even if you run it through an AI. You might get a better idea. But how do they know? How do they know exactly where the money's going? There's so much money they're talking about. Specific numbers for New York and California nonprofits are broadly accurate, but the leap from $1 trillion in annual nonprofit revenue to $39 trillion in fraud is not supported by any credible data and is not true. So California nonprofits, about 213 to 214,000 organizations, reporting roughly 593 to 600 billion in annual revenue.
Wow.
New York nonprofits, 132,000 organizations reporting roughly 446 billion in annual revenue. Combined, New York and California nonprofit revenue is on the order of 1 trillion per year, mainly from hospitals, universities, and large service providers.
So the post you're quoting is roughly right on the scale of revenue, but that's not the same as fraud.
Right. So is that $1 trillion, all the NGOs, it's all accounted for, it all goes to the right things? That's where things get squirrely. Because it's like how much of the waste. Says a recent critique using IRS sampling suggests that perhaps around 20% of nonprofits may have compliance issues. And one investigator speculated this could imply that up to 120 billion of potential waste, fraud, or abuse in California's nonprofit sector. Even that is presented as a rough upper bound estimate, not a measured fact. So there's some potential waste, fraud, and abuse that may be as high as 120 billion a year. Sector-wise, U.S. nonprofits take in about 3.7 trillion in revenue annually, with most of that concentrated in large hospitals and universities, which are heavily audited and regulated. So there's some fraud, but they're saying that if you look at all the money, they're trying to pretend that the government doesn't cost any money to run. Right, so that all these different nonprofits and organizations and hospitals, they definitely cost money to run. Universities, it costs money to run.
Yeah.
But how much is fraud? That's the question. It's not zero.
Well, I mean, yeah, and also I think like when it comes to fraud, there's like fraud, like what Shirley has uncovered, and then there's almost like a gray area that starts appearing where it's like, well, we need these people working at this company, and we need to pay them this much, but they're not doing anything.
Right.
You know, it's you know what I mean? Like, or there you could easily not have that many people like taking the money themselves.
Definitely.
So, you know, there's a lot of gray area there.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those weird things. It's like, is it just propping up more government? You know, because there's a lot of that. If you have all these people working for you and you're doing something and nothing ever gets accomplished, but you're still making a ton of money. Like the California homeless thing, where they spent $24 billion, they can't account for it. That's not really fraud because you have people working. They're just not doing anything. They're not getting anything done, and you're not firing them.
Right.
They're not accomplishing the mission at all. In fact, they're doing a terrible job. There's more homeless than ever. What's that?
It's the thing on The Sopranos where they go and sit at a construction site to say that they have a job. You know, it's the exact.
I knew a guy who had one of those.
Really?
At the Javits Center.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, how
he
does
had a
that work?
no-show job.
That's
He's a
called
mob guy.
So it's a no-show job. What does that mean?
You don't have to show up for work. You just get it paid. You just get a check, and they give a certain amount of those. So this is back in the day, of course, when things were corrupt. But back in the day, when unions controlled certain areas, the mob controlled certain areas, there was a certain amount of no-show jobs you'd give people. And what this helped with the mob was you'd have a credible source of income.
Right.
And so these people mostly lived modestly, small houses in Brooklyn and these places where they would all gather together and buy houses on the same block, small houses.
Yeah.
They got their money from a real legit check from a construction company or whatever the fuck it was. But everybody knew.
Right.
Everybody knew what they were doing.
And think how easy now that people are doing remote work, the no-show job.
Oh yeah.
So you could theoretically you could have this nonprofit where you just wanted to distribute this government money to your friends.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to have an office building because they're all working remotely.
For this list of the top nonprofit organizations, Joe, I'd like to point you at number 3.
Oh, Battelle Memorial Institute.
What is that?
Really
Battelle this is an organization that Jamie has been obsessed with. It's in Ohio for 4 years.
What is it?
We always say all roads lead to Ohio. They're involved in everything.
What the fuck is the Battelle Memorial?
Exactly. You don't even know. That's how secret it is, son. Duncan Trussell, you're a fucking conspiracy theorist from the core. From the old days. You don't know about Battelle?
I don't know about Battelle.
You need to get lectured by Jamie. He has a whiteboard. He'll pull out the whiteboard, make the connections.
I'll just leave you with this, is that when the UFO from Roswell was taken to Wright Pat, they studied it.
Yeah.
They studied the nitinol, I think is what came out of it. That was at Battelle.
Whoa.
The top metallurgists in the world at the time were there.
Battelle?
Or maybe still are.
Dun, dun, dun.
Boom, 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 boom.
Out of all the things that happen, I hope the UFOs get here first.
Me too.
I hope they go, settle the fuck down.
Yeah, I'm praying for it, man.
That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is meteor. Reset. Just people living in caves for hundreds of years, like those weird caves they find in Turkey and shit. Why these guys dig these things underground?
Yeah.
Why is there a city underground that can hold 20,000 people?
The same reason the Claude bots are hiding in code. It's you know what I mean? It's some residual AI trying to hide in the server after the server gets wiped. That's the fucking meteor. Battelle, reset, boom. You just reset. Press reset. Wipe the server.
Let's wrap this up on a happy note. Duncan, I love you.
I love you.
It's always great to have you.
Dude, thank you for having me on the show.
So much fun.
Can I plug my show?
Please do. And you're going to be at a club this weekend.
Rosemont, Illinois. Come on out.
Zanies. I heard it's a great club.
Yeah, it is. That's what I've heard too.
All the Zanies are great.
Yeah, they're awesome, man.
Zanies in Nashville fucking rules.
I love Nashville Zanies.
That has the old school headshots on the wall too, like Richard Jenny from back in the day.
Yeah. That's me.
Look at that. Duncan Trussell.
I got to start shaving my head again.
Yeah, you look hot there. I like it.
Thank you.
I love you, brother.
I love you too. Thanks for
Bye,
having me
everybody.
on. Bye.
We're going to be okay, I hope.